and see if so we live right now. So let's see. Let me go to your page and see if I see it. Let me see how this will work.
Let's see.
All right. I don't still move on feet like I don't really be on Facebook, so I don't have struggle with this Facebook app.
And I'm more on Facebook.
So let me see something. Yeah.
I have to upgrade. You got to teach me the stream, yeah.
Yeah. See, so I on your page, so you can see. You see it?
So I'm there.
Yeah. So it's live on
Okay.
your page. So like
Awesome.
everything you do, walk. All right. So we good.
We
Yeah.
good. Woohoo.
Yeah. So we live. Episode 101 featuring the amazing Chinell White. How you doing? How you doing? How's everything? Good evening. Good evening. So you just black out just now. So somebody might have hit you up or something. All right. You
Yeah,
back.
my phone. Somebody are calling me.
Yeah. So how's everything? Everything good?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for the invite.
I
How are
appreciate
you
it.
doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm doing wonderful as well. I'm really excited for this episode because I met you a couple about like 2 weeks ago or so, and
Mm-hmm.
you are a deep person. So I'm really excited. Just to see all the conversation and getting to know you and everything and all you share with us today. So I'm really excited. And the podcast is pretty much when an individual come on and they just share their story, they tell their truth the way how they want to, they want to tell it. So it's more like a celebration, a celebration of you,
Oh,
as well. So, family, friends, 10, 15 years down the line, they could come back and watch this episode, etc. So it's just a celebration, you know, for you,
I
you know.
love
So
that. I love that. And I think if we all tell our story in a way of looking at it like a celebration instead of hiding and being ashamed or whatever.
yeah,
Like you said, 10, 15, 20 years from now, you look back and it's like, wow, I'm so happy that I did that. So
yeah.
thank you so much for allowing me to, share my gems, share my stories, and hopefully it could inspire someone else.
Yeah, definitely. Because sometimes, it's important to live in the present, but sometimes you gotta think about your family tree, put it that way. So like we don't know how the world is gonna be in the future, but technology is where it's at pretty much right now. So say 50 years from now, your great, 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 grandson or granddaughter or a family, they might hear about you, but due to generations and years, how long we live and survive, they might never meet you, but you
Yeah.
leave something behind for them to see your face, hear your voice, see your mannerisms, your womanrisms, just see your vibe. And they might have somebody in their family that resembles somebody just like you.
Yeah.
Just imagine like if we go back like 5 and 6 generation and we had this type of technology, we could go back and look at our great, 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 great,
Yeah.
great grandfather or something like that. It would be amazing just to see that. So that's my vision of why I created the podcast and stuff like that. So
It's crazy because, I'm a firm believer like nothing is coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. It's just supposed to happen. So I'm somebody, right? Like
yeah,
everything that you just said, I'm somebody that live like that. So my posts, my videos, these are my digital footprint, my digital memoir. So just the fact that you like, say what you said just now is like, oh my God.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like the connection is just like, because you actually see what I see too.
yeah.
Your
You
vision
know,
is also my vision.
yeah. Like minds. We are like minds. We could put it that way.
Yeah.
Because when you are thinker, it's like when you because I watch your video. You tag me, and I've been watching a lot of your videos and your messages and stuff like that. So you are individual who really like think a lot. You are a deep thinker. You could see. You are a team thinker. you searching, you searching just like me. I'm searching on individuals like us who think a lot and searching, etc., for our inner self, our soul, etc., how you want to label it as. That's the type of mentality that we have, because it's like, we trying to create that foundation and leave behind something, for everyone, but not just for everyone, but for also for our family,
Yes.
so and that's, it's kind of like a each one teach one. If everyone have that type of mentality, the world would be in a better place, because you
Yeah.
searching for is peace, love, and happiness, and trying
Yes.
to better the next generation and stuff,
Exactly.
so yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy. Listen, I'm just so happy for your energy tonight. So, this is how I want to start it off because,
It's
like
your
you
night,
said,
yeah.
this is my legacy and this is my story from my mouth. Because I'm a firm believer that when I pass on, I have enough videos that instead of somebody reading a eulogy, it's gonna be me speaking on my behalf. So
I love that.
here it goes. You know how like some people when they introduce themselves or um when somebody make an introduction for you, they come with a lot of accolades. And the last time when we was doing the podcast, when Candice started with the accolades, you did not want that. And I remember that specifically because I'm like you. So this is how I gonna start mine off. I ain't coming with no labels and no titles like
Yeah.
the average folk. Hello and welcome to Chinell episode 1. Who is Chinell? She's majestic. She's magical. She's a gift to this realm. She's having a temporary time travel and she's having the most beautiful, chaotic, yummy chaos ever. She understands it's a roller coaster ride. Okay? She's a mother. She's a daughter. She's a wife. She can wear all them little titles,
Yeah,
that she
yeah.
gained on her journey. But the most beautiful and successful thing that I acquired is knowing who I am, why I am, what I am, and how I am. I'm the most beautiful assignment to myself. So this is why tonight is healing is the new flex because it
Love that.
took me a long time to actually know who I am. It took me a long time. Had I know what I know today, it could have saved me a lot of trouble. But do I regret it? Hell no. Because in life, my toolkit heavy because of the experiences that I've had. I've had a hell of a ride, and healing never stopped, ladies and gentlemen. It never stops. It's a
That's true.
lifestyle
That's
because you
true.
keep learning. I get fascinated because I'm learning something new about Chinell all the time. So you're gonna hear about me speak in third person. I like that word stuff because sometimes I have to be my cheerleader. Sometimes I have to be the voice. So we gonna start with her younger years. Do you have questions?
No, so I'm gonna have questions, but I like the way how you started, because I like to get to know, where you grew up, where you
Yes.
from, how you was as a child, because who we are as a person is how we are as a child, is
Yes.
how our experiences as a child growing up and stuff like that shapes who we are as a person. And
Yes.
it's like you said, like we speak about earlier about searching and stuff like that. Once you search and you get to grab hold of who you are, then you on that journey of happiness where, as a child you learn from your mistakes, you learn from the trauma, you face the truth, and in order to heal, you got to face the truth. So
Yes.
so I love where you starting and the way how you going. So I'm gonna have questions and I'll jump in when it's time to jump in and stuff like that. But tonight is your night.
Thank you. So who is Chanel? This beautiful young lady that you're watching, because she's so beautiful. Not only beautiful on the outside, but she's beautiful on the inside. But
Love
I
the
mean, I'm
energy.
just saying, I speak it for you
No,
because
I love the
you know
energy. Yeah,
she's
yeah, I love the
gorgeous.
energy. So when I laugh and stuff like that, that's me. I'm loving it. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
the
yeah.
energy. I love the positivity. So yeah, yeah,
I'm quite a character, by the way. So, you might be laughing a couple times, well, but don't worry,
hey,
I got you.
I rather laugh than cry. That's one thing.
But who
So
is this beautiful young lady that your eyes have the pleasure to see tonight? Well, she was born on the beautiful island of St. Croix. My mom was a teenage mother. My dad was um my dad was actually 27 years old, and my mom was 16. Of course, in today's time, that's that's like, oh my God, because the world was really different back then. Things that would be crazy today um would be was normal back then.
yeah, that's
People
true.
got
That's true.
married younger,
Yeah,
women were different, men were different, but my parents, my father was in love with my mother, and my mother was young still, so she ended up going to Job Corps, and I was with my grandmother, and then of course they separated. My mother young, want to enjoy her young self. He's an older guy. I could, me being a woman, I understand life today. I could understand why, you know, that didn't work out. Anyway, when I was, because we really wanted to do this interview to speak about molestation from our last podcast, right?
yeah. We definitely could
So
touch on it. As much as how you want to touch on it as well too.
okay,
Yeah.
so when I was 6 years old, I was living in St. Thomas. At this time, my mom had three children. So I'm the oldest, and then she had two other kids. And I remember, I was by a babysitter. And I remember it was like back in those days, because I'm 42. I think we're the same age, right?
Yeah, yeah, we're the same. Yeah, I'm 42. Yeah.
Okay. So back in the 80s, at least this particular house that I was by, the babysitter had the bathroom outside. Of course they had bathroom inside, but
Yeah.
the babysitter bathroom was outside. So I remember the woman who was babysitting us, she and her kids were in the room, like we all were in this room, and the boyfriend was like, you could say his bedroom was in a kitchen area, because you got like, so it's like a little shanty house.
Yeah.
That's the best description I could see. So when I was, you get up and you have to use the restroom, but you gotta go outside. Now remember, I'm 6 years old. If you're taking care of somebody as child, you should be following this little girl, because she have to go outside.
That's true. Yeah. Facts.
Remember, I'm 6. I'm a baby,
Yeah.
right? So when I walk in to go outside to use the bathroom, I was stopped by a Rasta man, and he was black. Like it was so long ago, you can't really see the details in the face,
Yeah.
at least for me. But he was a black man, he was a Rasta man. And this man took my little 6-year-old body, and he was laying down, and he put me across. Like when you put somebody across, but he didn't put his penis in me, but he had a hard on, and he had me hold his penis. Okay? Now remember, I'm 6.
Yeah.
And of course, at the time, I didn't know I jerking off a penis, because I've never held a penis before. Now, that happened. And, for the life of me, I don't know how all of that could have happened. And this little house, the lady who's supposed to be babysitting me, how she just didn't hear a noise. I mean, I just don't know. Now, I remember we left St. Thomas. Now, I never told anyone at that time.
Yeah.
I remember leaving St. Thomas, because my mother used to travel a lot. Then we went to New Jersey, Virginia. I felt like I gonna wait till we go far. Now I'm 9 years old. We living in West Palm Beach at this time. I told my mom. I remember me and my mom, it was like this secret thing. Because I remember like my mom taking me to a payphone. There was a phone in the house, but she took me to a payphone. It's like maybe she didn't want to bite it, because when stuff like that happened, I realized from listening to other people's stories,
Yeah.
it's like this taboo, it's like this secret, right? So I remember my mom taking me to a payphone. Like we were walking, like we walked far from the house to go to a payphone. And then we told my grandmother. So this was like in the summertime. So I remember like we end up coming to St. Croix. And I remember my grandmother, like it was me and her in a vehicle, like just us, and she wanted to tell her the story. So at this time, like nobody's really like did I have to say the story, but remember I'm still young.
Yeah. You're still young. You're a
So
child.
I
Yeah.
have
You're a
a
baby
young
still.
mind. All I know is this story is serious. You know?
Yeah.
And this story is like it's like secret CIA information. So when I told my grandmother the story, I remember my grandmother, you know, taking me. So remember now I had a life, and then now my story now it destroyed the family. Kind of I separated from the family. Like I'm thinking as a child, right?
Yeah.
Then I remember this was when now I'm 9 years old. Now I just recently relocated from the States. So now I'm living in a project now. And project children, even though my project was a beautiful project, but I'm in a different environment now. So I remember like somebody knowing the story and people would gather around me. So I could tell a story and I would be crying. Kids is kids, so they want to see you cry. So every time I would tell a story, I would have like a group of people surrounding me for me to tell a story, and then I'm crying. That's trauma. That's a lot of trauma, but
It is. Yeah.
nobody took me for counseling. Nobody. So I had to become a survivor. I had to become my own protector. So I end up going from this nice young lady, because when I hear stories about when I was younger from, people that knew me when I was younger, they was like, oh, Chanel was just so nice. So what happened? Something had to happen. And this is where a lot of parents are disconnected, because how she go from this nice girl to always fighting. So then I had to, now I'm in a project environment, and now you got to be tough because these children, you know, the children will bully you. I don't have story, and they like see me cry. So,
Yeah.
so I end up, when I was growing up, and then I'm living by my mom, and even that, like, even transitioning, it was not a sit down and let's talk about why you're going to be living here now. Like, I was that child that needed those conversations. Some children, yeah, it is what it is. But I was like, because I know my personality, I'm very emotional. I could be very sensitive. I'm not just one thing. So, going through that transition, I know I deal with my grandmother now, and this is a lot going on. I end up being one of those young. I was like a little terrorist when I was growing up, cussing. She was rude, but I had reason.
Yeah. You're a reason.
I
So,
had reason.
so when your grandmother and your mother got they heard the information from you, what was the reaction? Was their reaction like nah, this not gonna happen? Like, was they didn't, it was just like, were they calm, were they upset, were they angry, like were they looking to like, we gonna go to the police? Was it anything like that, any type of vibe like that?
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was just I know moving to a different house.
Yeah.
My grandmother was very protective, but I guess because, and this happens a lot because I've heard stories where people really had some serious stuff happen to them.
Yeah.
Mine would sound like that ain't really a lot, but you cannot tell somebody, trauma is trauma.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
I'm
true.
already I'm already a person that everything is extreme. If I'm mad is extreme. If I happy is extreme. So I'm like an extreme person. So that was extreme for me, and
Yeah,
and I should have had counseling. I should have had counseling. I
definitely.
should have had a conversation. You know what I'm saying? But
Definitely.
I would deny that. I don't know if maybe they didn't understand it, but I know, like, when I saw the lady when I was like 20 something years old, I did, my mother didn't, it was just like the woman was like, well, he get deported. So I always felt like I got to fight for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I always felt like, so okay, we're gonna go to Little Chanel because that's Little Chanel's story, right? That's the 6-year-old me. So 6-year-old me was traumatized. Remember now, I'm a child that wanted. I'm a very super sensitive person and loving person. So I was that little girl that needed daddy to take her to school, drop her off, come and check on her, sit and eat lunch with her, because that's really who I am.
Yeah.
So
That's who you are. That's true.
when my father wasn't, me not having my father there and living with my grandmother, you don't understand that sacrifices are being made. You don't understand. As a child, you feel left out. As a child, you feel like, why nobody love me? What's wrong with me? You know?
Yeah.
So when I became a teenager now, because growing up with my grandmother, going to church, my grandmother was very strict. So I grew up with La Nada. I grew up in a household where my grandmother walked. Like, I see my grandmother walk. I see La Nada. A lot of women in my family are more like, we're alpha males.
Yeah.
So I grew up in that environment where we the run the show.
Yeah. By any means
There's more
necessary, we
women.
gonna get everything done. Yeah.
Exactly.
Do what we
So
gotta do. Yeah.
yeah, so there's more women in my family than men. And my grandmother was such a, like, she was a superwoman. So me grow up like, and like, Safi. Even though I'm a sensitive person,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I am a strong woman too. Cause you ain't just one thing, even though they want us to be that. No, I'm a big energy.
Yeah. You have big energy. Yeah.
So when I met my son father now, remember now, I ain't addressed the trauma as a child. There's things I ain't addressed.
Yeah.
So when I do with my son father now, my first love. No, that was like Jesus come to save me. I remember now. And I had to learn this. I was a codependent, you know. So I was dependent on his love. I remember now. I learned about self-love and stuff like that older.
Yeah.
But when I was a teenager, I dependent. So now you become a crack.
Yeah, because you searching for that. You searching for that love. You
Yes,
searching for that love. Like you mentioned
exactly.
earlier, like you didn't have that love, like when you like you mentioned earlier with your father and take you to school and doing all of that stuff. Like you didn't have that. So you as you going through life at that age, you searching for love. And then
Exactly.
you met your child's father, yeah.
Exactly. So now my son father come in my life, right? My son father is doing his best. But remember, even though I'm young, I'm damaged. And I only use that damage because that's just a word that people can kind of like put together in their head. But honestly, that's not a word we should be using.
Yeah. But
Because
yeah,
we
you
are
said
a work
damage
in
because
progress.
because you haven't had any counseling. You haven't get a chance
Yes,
to get professional help and
exactly.
address the issue
Exactly.
and yeah. So when you said damage, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
But so here it is. I'm in a relationship and I don't even understand love of self. Because to be in anybody relationship, you have to first come with, you know what I'm saying? You have to come with your healed self, your happy self. You
Yeah.
got to bring that to the table.
Yeah.
So no, I come with
It's true.
an empty bag of self-love and understanding and awareness and triggers and all this stuff. But I looking at my son for to fix me. You just supposed to fix me, and you just supposed to read my mind. Just a lot of things
Yeah,
that
because sorry to interrupt, but it's like you don't know how to love, but you searching for love.
yes,
You don't know how to love, so you just dependent on the love, but you don't know how to give it back. You don't know how to, make the necessary steps and what to do and stuff like that. It's pretty much you like it's like you getting teach,
yeah,
how to love while you searching for
exactly,
love.
exactly. So yeah, my son, but I'm still grateful and thankful for the connection because it
Yeah,
was just so much that he teach me, but also I could see where he was dealing with a mental patient. I don't think
yeah,
some women understand that. 'Cause men are logical thinkers. That's just how I is set up,
yeah.
you know, and we are
Emotional.
emotional, we the feely, and
Yeah,
sometimes our emotional intelligence will be out of whack. So here it is, somebody with logic trying to be with somebody who get all these triggers, and then she couldn't talk. She didn't know how to communicate her feelings. She meaning me. So I didn't know how to communicate my feelings. He would ask me what happened to you, nothing but a face push up. That was traits that I picked up
yeah. That's
from
yeah.
from
It's
how I grew up because
yeah,
it's mostly women. It's not. I'm not seeing. It's what I saw as
yeah.
healthy, but it's not healthy.
It's not healthy. Yeah,
So of course that relationship is not going to work because clearly I didn't need to be in nobody relationship. I needed to be in somebody. I needed to be in therapy or something. Now here the kicker now. When I get pregnant now, because I have a son that's 25 years old, so I was a teen mother. My mom was a teen mother. I was a teen mother. When I pregnant, my mother pregnant.
wow.
Could you imagine? Now remember we talk about the trauma
Yeah,
as a child. Now remember, all of this is happening at Lil St. Croix.
yeah.
Now, with that Lil St. Croix, mother and daughter pregnant. How you think that went?
It's just I don't even know what to say. That's a tough one.
Because
You
you know
know.
what, people, let's be real. You know what
Oh
people,
yeah, with the yeah,
the
people
melee, the
going
melee.
they're gonna talk and gossip and talk behind people back and
Yes,
how it is. Yeah, yeah. I understand where you
yes.
coming from.
So
That's
when
true.
I pregnant, my mother pregnant. So that, of course, the melee, the gossiping. Remember too, my son father was my first relationship, so I wasn't a little girl that just around the place. I with the same man I pregnant for, and the same man took my virginity. So this wasn't only hot scally one.
Yeah, yeah,
But at the end of the day, it was not something that was normal. That was definitely one to like, what?
yeah,
You know? So I experienced that being a child, being damaged, being broken. I know she's a mother. I know I have to go from being a young girl to now being a mother. So
man. That's tough.
the beautiful thing,
That's tough.
and there's always something beautiful in something that, would be like, wow. The beautiful thing is I wanted to be everything for my son that I didn't have. Now let me walk you through this one, The problem is when you're not healed and you're parenting, you causing trauma even when you don't think you're causing trauma.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
Like
Very
this
true.
thing so deep, people don't be understanding. Like this thing so deep. You know, my son, of course, he looked good. He had all the best at everything. But remember, I broken. I unhealthy. Let me use that word unhealthy. I am unhealthy. I'm unhealthy in the way I think, the way I love, the way I see life. Everything is just like it don't make no sense.
I love you. I love that word unhealthy. So when you said damage earlier, actually unhealthy is the perfect word to use.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah, because
it's negative, but it's actually a positive word.
yes,
It's a
yes.
positive word. Yeah, I love
And
that word.
words
I'm gonna
is
start using that.
important. Words
Yeah, I'm
have
gonna start using
power.
that. Yeah,
Yes,
I
words
love
have
that.
power. So
Yeah,
yeah, we're gonna remove damage because
yeah.
word sound word have power. And I'm being that I'm into healing and stuff. I don't want to put those walls, like I don't want to own those walls because I'm a beautiful vessel. But so raising my son, I wanted my son to being that I felt, because remember, I'm struggling with self love because I don't know what that is. We don't talk, that's something we start talking about recently, self love, and that ain't stuff we hear growing up.
No,
That was some selfish to have self love. It's like you got to put everybody in front of you and stuff like that, right? So, being a young mom, I was so obsessed with my child that I also damaged him. Number one, I wanted a perfect child. Everything I wasn't, I wanted him to be. Everything I couldn't do, I wanted he to do. And I also picked up some of the ways that my mother was. My mother used to compare my siblings to me. Why you can't be like Chinell? Why like I was perfect? And then I did that to my son. Why you can't be like Shaquille? You know? So those are ways that, we are abusive without even understanding, because that's just a way that people can attack to each other within the family, but that's not right. It's like I was like making my son feel like something was wrong with him, that he need to be somebody else, you know
yeah, yeah.
so that's stuff I learned. And I was, because I grew up in a strict home with my grandmother. It was la and ada. So when I parent, it was la and ada. So my son was afraid of me. And I took it as me, I don't play. My son know I crazy. I used to talk that way, not realizing that's unhealthy.
Very true.
Like
Very,
you
very
damaging
true.
that child.
Very true.
Then my son father had, he had kids, and we had breakup and stuff like that. So I became so bitter, and I became so vicious that I sacrificed my son relationship with his father. Okay. I did that. You know, I did that to my son. That's something that in today's, with me, how me and my son is now, I am making my wrongs right.
That's
Because I was
beautiful.
bitter and I was angry. And parents don't, a lot of mothers don't admit that. I
Yes,
was
true.
jealous. I was angry. Bear in mind, the voices in my head, because that's another thing when women are, when they're on the unhealthy journey, the voices in their head tell them things that is not true. So my inner voices was so damaged and so dark that I would tell myself, "Oh, you don't love my child." First of all, the words we use as mothers, my child, that's our child. We make that child together. So we
Yeah.
say things like, my child, because he have other children. He was stressed out dealing with me. I was crazy. Somebody else decided, listen, she want him. Did it together. I still mad. Me want it, but me want she to have it. Those is conversation woman don't admit either.
It's true. And and I'll interrupt you real quick. You know, and that's the problem is like no one no one haven't been like nobody hasn't been taught to talk and speak, you know, and speak
Yes.
to conversate and to speak to listen to understand and to learn, you know. And like some of the stuff you said, like you pick up the same habits that your mother was doing, and
Yes.
sometimes you be going through life like you have so much distractions in life that you be going through life and you just be picking up a lot of bad habits that you don't
Yes.
realize it
Yes.
until you start to heal, when you start seeing the truth, you know, when you start facing the truth, and then you go through so much different emotions. You might cry, you might be upset, you might be ashamed at yourself, you might be so shocked at yourself, the way how you treat, I'll use your son for example, the way how you handle your son, and it hurts. But in order to change, you got to face that reality and you got to face
Yes.
that pain in order to heal,
Yes.
you know.
Yes. You have
So
to. Healing is not for the weak. For me to even tell you story like this without crying is because I did a lot of work. Mumbai, I
yeah,
did a lot of work. I've had a lot of conversation with my son, even with my son father. You know, with my son father, you know, much time I say, Howard, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Because Howard, I've been vicious. I've been vindictive. I've been wicked. All because I was jealous. All because
yeah,
I was angry. All because the life that I saw in my fantasy lens, I felt somebody else take it from me. I never saw that I was stressing you out. I never saw that if I had healed that little girl, if I had stayed out of people stay out of relationship, because I shouldn't have been in no relationship with nobody
yeah,
when I didn't know who I was, you know.
yeah. But
But
you can't, you know, and that's the, you know, that's why life is so funny, is because like you wouldn't know until you been through what you've been through, until
yeah,
you was able to find yourself, you know. And
yes,
what makes you such a what makes you such a great person today, you know, and you still going through your healing, as you said, is the fact that what make the most important thing is when you know you wrong and you tell the other person that you wrong.
yeah,
And to be honest, it doesn't really, and I mean this with the utmost respect, it doesn't really matter if they accept your apology or not, because the fact is, you put away your ego, you put away your pride to admit that you're wrong, you know. And that's the part of healing, you know, to speak it, you know, speak it to
yeah,
reality, speak it so they could hear it. You apologize to the people them that you hurt, you know, they might have hurt you too, but you're not looking for them to apologize to you. You admitted what you was wrong about and you apologizing to them, you know, because that's the part of your journey and healing, you know. And that's what makes you such a great person today. And like you mentioned, like you could speak and not cry about it because you you admit you was wrong, you know. You have come
yeah,
to realization, you
yes. I
know.
had my
So
crying moments already.
yeah, that's the thing, you had your crying moments already, you know, because those lonely crying moments is the worst crying moments,
Yeah,
because it's like you facing the truth, you looking yourself in the soul, you like you
yes.
holding yourself
What?
accountable, nobody else holding you accountable but yourself.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the worst feeling, because you look at yourself in the mirror, you be like, man, I cannot believe I was this person, you know. you're,
yes,
you're ashamed of yourself, but you are
yeah,
ashamed within yourself, you know. And
yeah,
nobody can feel that pain but you,
yeah.
you know. So you know, so just I want to commend you for being honest on the show tonight. You know,
Thank
you're an honest
you.
person, but I appreciate you having this
Yeah,
deep conversation with me. And also big up to all the everyone that's watching and following. I appreciate all the positive comments and showing love and everything. You know, I appreciate you guys. And if you guys ever want to come on, don't be afraid to come on. I love to have a conversation with you guys. You know, so but definitely I appreciate that. You know, tonight.
yes,
But yeah,
yes. Because
go ahead. So sorry to interrupt you.
no, 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 no. Interrupt me because she could well talk. But Mumba. Let me tell you something about healing.
Oh,
You see, healing, Mumba.
yeah,
Man, that's the best thing could have ever happened to my life. This is why I could share stories and not be ashamed, because the way how they had us thinking, right, was like you should be ashamed. Don't tell nobody your business. Put it in a closet. It's like you gotta act like it never happened. In reality, is when you flip the switch and you realize, damn, I went through all of that and I survived. It's a celebration, like you said earlier, Mumba.
Yeah,
I got
that's
to
what it
look at
is.
myself and third person, like, girl. You know what I'm saying? I got to
Yeah,
look at the good. And I also got to look at, listen, I got to break this cycle on the, because I see my mother do it. I see me do it. I don't want my son. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? You start to realize that, you know what, it's bigger than you. Healing is for your mother. Healing is for your grandmother. Healing is for your grandchildren. You know, healing goes, this is for the bloodline. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's true. It's
So
true.
when you understand healing, you understand, like, if I had know better, what I do better.
Yeah,
So I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't forgive myself, because if I had know better, I would have do better.
that's true. That's
So
true.
I can't be ashamed. I could if I want to, but guess what? What I gonna do for your growth? Because one thing I had to realize, Mumba, you see this? I was a prisoner for years. I was a prisoner for years, Mumba, with the noise at the wall, until I had to realize, you know, you could take the bullet out of their gun by not caring, by understanding that that's the opinion and you don't have them too.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Real quick. Marcia, I'll get back to your question on the back end. She asks, how often you guys host these. So this is Chinell's White episode. So this is a celebration of Chinell. So this is the avenue that Chinell wants to take, and we having a deep conversation, a deep dialogue. So definitely.
Marcia need to join. She needs to join us if she can, or she have she could be our next guest.
Yeah, Marcia, if you want to be a guest, you're more than welcome to come on. So definitely, definitely. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you again, Chanel.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, yeah,
But healing has definitely been my new flesh moment, because I know who I am, what I am, and it's just like, it's like a kid in a candy store, because I had to unlearn a lot of things and relearn. I had to unlearn and relearn and understand that I'm having an experience in this lifetime. Every day when you wake up, treat it like you win the lottery, because
it's
one day
true.
you're gonna be gone,
Be
and I'm
gone.
gonna just be a memory.
That's true.
So mental health is very important to me. But with me and my son, dad, it was rocky, and I became very bitter and very, very angry. I could have really been a single mother with help from the father, because my son always had a father,
Yeah,
but because I didn't like the narrative, it was my child, and my son ended up, giving me a lot of trouble, because he also was dealing with a confusion. So of
yeah,
course he gonna go astray, you
it's
know.
true. It's true.
And my son actually went to prison. So a lot of things. Can I remember my son telling me, "You ain't hurting me, Shina. You're hurting. You're gonna hurt Jaja." I remember my son father tell me that when Jaja probably was 6 years old,
Mm,
and that was my story. He ended up going to jail, and I had to take full responsibility, because I had many opportunities to have a different story,
yeah,
but I was so consumed with bitterness and anger. I was just so consumed. So I know how it is to be bitter and angry, and I know how it is, and it's ugly. I was a pretty
yeah,
girl with an ugly, ugly spirit, but I covered it well with a smile, and
yeah. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. And part of the reason too is just that the environment. The
yeah,
environment you grew up in. That's
yeah,
just is not just you. A lot of people is like that. It's just
yeah.
like
A lot of we got the
it's
same story, so it's
yeah,
like you are wrong so much. dark energy.
Yeah, that you just that's who you know that's how you pick up to be.
Yeah,
It's just and and that's why like that's why I love so much about your story, and I love so much about who you are as a person is the fact that you overcome that dark energy. Sometimes people don't overcome that dark energy. Some
yeah,
people that you grew up with, they're
man.
still the same type of person, the same
Yes,
energy, the same attitude, the same mentality, the same habits as how they was when they was in junior high, high school, young adulthood, and it's all about just understanding what's important in life and what's right and what's wrong, and so it's a sad situation, but you overcome it. That's the thing,
yeah,
and you still healing. So
yeah,
so that's the tough part about growing up in that that society is it is what
yeah.
it is. That's just the way how the atmosphere, the energy is over there. And it's just overcoming it. You know, some people wake up and some people never wake up.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's true.
And it's sad because when I look back and being angry and stuff like that, I'm like, God damn. Because I see people, like, I know how it is to be like that. So I could see it in other people. Like, you can't fake and you ain't gonna fool me. I know when a woman working on herself, and I know when a woman is not. That's the beautiful thing about my energy. I could read a room
Yeah,
like nobody business. You can't fool me. You can't fool me. So it's like I had to go through those kind of stuff in my life to actually be able to relate to other women. Like, I been there, girl. I was there.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? This is why
yeah.
a lot of women they share this story with me because they know at the end of the day it gonna come from a place of love.
Love,
Like,
yeah.
they tell the truth. I like telling the truth to my ladies because I know how it is when I was a victim and I had my congregation a woman enabling me. It did nothing for me. It did nothing. I had an army soldiers. When I cried, they cried. But no, I want the truth because the truth will set you free.
It's true.
It
Very
will
true.
set you
It's true.
free.
It is
Okay,
true.
that delusional shit like accountability, accountability,
Accountability, yeah.
accountability.
That's
At
it.
the end of the day, when woman they be like, oh, but he do this, or if I had a perfect child, or if my mother this, my father this, it is your life.
Your life, your
You have
choice.
one shot here.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? You couldn't. I was 6 years old when I got molested. I was six. I'm 42 years old. You think I still? I don't have time to keep praying for 6 year old Chanel. I got to hold little Chanel. I said, listen, we gonna get you this, you know. I got you,
Yeah.
baby girl. I got you because little Chanel is my innocence. She's still here. She ain't gone away. But I have to let her know, me ain't forget you. Come, baby, let me go. You know what I'm saying? My different chapters of Chanel, they all had a reason, a purpose. I got to, you know what I'm saying? So I have to
Yeah.
take accountability like this is your life, Chanel. You can't blame anybody but you.
It's
What you
true.
gonna do with it? What you gonna do with it? You gonna heal, you gonna grow, or you gonna stay stagnant?
Very true. It
Cause
is
you
true.
can't change yesterday, or yesterday you can't change it. It
You
don't happen.
can't. Yeah. You can learn from it. You can't change it. You can
Exactly.
learn on it or you could dwell on it. Like you saying.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's accountability. It's accountability. It's just
Yes.
being able to admit when you're wrong. You
Exactly.
know,
Because
that's the
even with
thing.
my son father, a lot of women that I always see what a man do wrong. And I
Yeah.
remember telling my son father, like, I thank you for even choosing me. I thank you for loving me even when I was hard to love.
Mm,
Stuff like
that's
that. They
deep.
say because sometimes women don't even understand, like, men want to hear those words too.
Yeah. It's true. It's
Men want
true.
to know, like, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
especially I had a whole child with him. I had a whole child with him. I have to be thankful for the seed because Mumba, the seed that being your first before it come in our womb.
It's true. That's
So
true.
my son was in his father womb before it
Yeah.
come in my
It's,
womb.
it's
Been
true.
his father nuts.
Yeah, it's true. It's
So
true.
that's his child more than my child. You know how woman is saying my child? He could really be like, that's my child.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's true. It's true. You know, And and that's beautiful that you told him that, because it's like, because at the end of the day, it's all about, sometimes people gotta like, people be so distracted with the way how life is, with so much stuff going on in life, but sometimes everybody gotta take time to just think, take time, sit on one night, look at the stars, and just think about life. Just think about life. Don't think about materialistic things. Don't think about how much money you got. Don't think about anything. Just think about what is the goal in life as a human being. What is the goal in life? And the goal, you want to make people happy. You just want to spread love. You want, like you said, take accountability. Show people love. Show people that you're healing. Like you told him, thanks for choosing me. You showing him love and appreciation for what he did. You
Yeah,
realizing that he had a lot to deal with. You admit you're wrong. He probably
yeah,
did stuff that he was wrong, but you're doing the right thing for him
yeah,
to start seeing the bigger picture. Sometimes you gotta take accountability and apologize to people so they could see the bigger
yeah,
picture. So they could maybe start healing and realize, what, I appreciate what she said to me, and then maybe he apologize to someone else, or he maybe
it's
apologize
true.
to
It's
you,
true.
yeah,
It's true. And I did that with my son too. Like me and my
yeah,
son have healthier conversations. I tell him, Jaja, I'm sorry. When I was pregnant with you, I was young. I even told them, I didn't want you, Jaja, and I tried to get abortion. We didn't have real conversations, you know. And I tell them, I just when you were born, I could have seen the purpose because I just love because the way I love my child is not even normal. Like I love that human being, but I had to learn also to have boundaries, because I still working on that, but
yeah,
I'm very morally, you
yeah,
know, I'm very morally. I want to be in his face. I want to be in his business.
yeah. Nah, because it's like, you trying to, how I could say, maybe I could be wrong, but it's like you kind of missed out on that portion of being a
Yeah,
mother because you was a different mother. Like you mentioned
yeah,
earlier, you was
yeah,
being hard. You
that's
missed
it,
that
man.
part of that
Yeah,
loving and the happiness. And
yeah,
what's so funny?
joy.
I kind of deal with the same thing too, because sometimes I always think like, man, I wonder if I was too hard on my son. Was I being too hard? And sometimes I miss out on the happiness and the joy and stuff like
Yeah,
that. And as a part of healing, because when you're healing, you're not looking for the happiness. You're looking for all the mistakes you made, because
yeah,
you trying to heal. And sometimes you can't rewind time. And sometimes you try and catch up, and sometimes it might be too late. Like your son is a grown man. Like he ain't trying
yeah.
to, you know,
I know.
and that's the thing. But
Yeah,
you know, but that's the journey. That's the journey in
yeah.
life.
That's the
That's the
journey. And
journey.
one time my son tell me, he said, "Mommy, you emotionally handicapped." And
Mm,
at first you're hurt because I always been like this mother, very aggressive.
yeah. Good
And
night, everyone. Good night.
just
Sorry.
good night, everybody. I can't see your comments, but good night. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining us. So I always been like this aggressive mother. So part of healing is you want to have a welcoming energy. You want to be able to have people tell you the truth.
Yeah. It's
The
important.
big problem in most relationship, friendship, romantic ship, any ship you could think about is communication, the way how we speak.
Yeah.
Sometimes, especially being a black woman, we're very defensive, we're very aggressive. So people don't always tell the truth because it's like, look how you gonna act if I tell you the truth.
Yeah. It's
So you
true.
can't even people that say they want the truth, but do you really want the truth? Can you handle it?
Yeah.
So when me and my son have, I mean, it's so beautiful, and like you said, it's like because because I working on self, and
Yeah.
it's a joy. Like so when he tell me, and he was in prison when he told me this. He said, "Mommy, you're emotionally handicapped," and it hurt me at first.
Yeah.
But then, cause you got to accept it, you got to feel it, you got to. He think he grown. You gotta go through all these different things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, was he lying? No, he was telling the truth.
Yeah.
That he was a child that had to love up his mother because she always emotional. She dealing with things with from father. She just dealing with a lot in her head. She dramatic, she extra. One minute she cussing, next minute she crying. But he got to be the one hugging me, kissing me, mommy, I love. He had a lot to deal with as a child. Dealing
Yeah.
with
A
a
lot.
mother that's emotionally, she's extremely crazy. So when I sit back and when I look back and I look back and different chapters in my life, I said the only reason I was in relationships was because I'm a beautiful girl and I'm also sweet. So I'm like nice, nasty. She nice enough, but she vicious.
Yeah.
So it's like whoever with me would be like, where she nice. And that's a lot of thing a lot of men be dealing with too. Women don't be understanding like men, they really be tolerating a lot of us. Because we
Yeah.
vicious. And you see our mouth, these is killers. If it and remember, men they don't know to express themselves already. I hear it is sometimes when a woman want to hurt you, she gonna hurt you.
Yeah. With the words, yeah, with the
Whoa, she
mouth,
gonna
yeah.
hurt you. And you can't unhear what you done here.
That is very true. It's very true.
So imagine me and you there together. I don't cuss your ass out and tell you all kind of thing. And I expect us to just go down the road like nothing happened. You have those things you're thinking about in your head.
Yeah.
But people continue relationship without even revisiting the argument. Because it's so normal to be dysfunctional.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Man.
And you just create a bigger problem,
Yeah.
down the line. Something I was gonna mention too is with your honesty with your son, you actually helping him. You pointing him in a better place.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever, I'm not sure if he has a family, his own family yet, but when he gets to whatever point he gets to, you're actually helping him.
Yeah.
You're helping him from your mistakes and being
Yes.
outspoken and honest and apologizing and stuff like that. So that might create, if he has a daughter or a son,
Mm-hmm.
just
He
your
have a
mistake.
son.
He has a son, so your
Yeah.
mistakes and your honesty and your healing will create that connection with his
Yeah.
with his child. Because you
Yeah.
teaching him to be vulnerable and be open and be honest, and is showing that it's okay to make mistakes. We're not perfect, etc. So it's actually a good thing that you're doing. You helping yourself, and you actually helping him.
Yeah.
So
That's the purpose.
yeah, and that's the purpose.
And my
You know,
healing is for him. My healing is for my grandson. I did make sure to tell my son, Jaja, your father, I always take care of you, even though you probably, when me and your father ain't talking and you ain't seen him, it's because I don't stress you out. He ain't want to come around. I don't stress you out.
yeah,
He's stressed out. So he making sure the money there. But what I'm saying, I would have, if when I look back, I would rather him than the money because my son needed him.
yeah. Your son needed him as the most
But
important.
I
Yeah,
just couldn't deal with my son father having, he had another family and it was a lot. It was a lot
yeah,
going on and it was a lot because my young mind was, she took away my life. That's
yeah,
what my voices told me.
yeah,
So when I heal, guess what? My voices is more healthy now. My voices think it's the biggest deal ever. My voices think I'm a gift to the realm. That's what I had to tell myself today.
yeah.
But in the past, it was very negative.
Negative.
It
Yeah,
was negative, negative with a smile, a pretty ass smile too. You know?
yeah. No, it's true because it's. I mean, we mentioned earlier because it's tough looking back. Especially where you are today. Mentally. It always tough when you look back, but it's like, you know, we mentioned earlier too. It's just like the environment. Like is
Yeah.
once our environment is negative, it's always gonna be negative. You're gonna pick up everything negative. And it takes somebody with that mentality that you have today to help you back then.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And even though somebody try to help you, in that state of mind, it's always tough to break through that state of
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tough word. It's kind of like, it's kind of like just timing. Sometimes you just got hit like rock bottom, and you know for you to crawl back up and start healing. So it's real tough. It's real tough. you know
I know what you know what was mine. So when I came to Florida, I came to Florida. I used to work in Hess, and Hess are closed down. So I came to Florida, relocated, and I really was like in a, you know, I had such a big ego when I was working Hess, because Hess gonna give you that ego. You know how it go down there.
Yeah, the paycheck give you that ego.
What? I just
You
the
know.
fact that you don't work Hess. So you come, you get a confidence, you get an ego or whatever.
Yeah.
So when Hess closed, and I was blowing my money, I was just having a good time, like ain't nobody business. So
Yeah, big ballin'.
when Hess closed, I came up here with my last two unemployment check. So I basically came having to start over. And I end up meeting my husband today. Now when I meet my husband, now why you walk with me? When I meet my husband, my husband is 20 years older than me. But he just such a nice guy. He just like something like, because living on an island, toxic relationships and healthy relationships is up here. That's like really like Nama relationships is toxic. It really is. If people want to really be honest.
No, it's true. It's true.
You know.
If you, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Why you go ahead?
No,
Sorry.
no. I was just gonna say, because it's like, you know, I'm gonna use Facebook as a perfect example. I rarely be on Facebook. When I go on Facebook, you watch the people them status, you just watch their vibe and stuff like that, and it just lets you know the environment. It just
Yeah.
lets you know. It just lets you know. So that's why I said, like, a toxic relationship is normal, because everybody's just so used to it. Everybody's
Yeah,
so used
it's
to it. That's the thing.
listen, being a Kujia woman, right? I wanna fit in a Kujia woman category when it comes to, because most Kujia woman, let's say me and you there together and somebody watch you. A typical Kujia girl, what she watching you for? Who she be attitude? They just have a lot of attitude, but that's normal. It's
That-
not, people that get upset if you like somebody else's picture and you. I'm like, I glad my husband don't have no social media, because I did love every picture. I did call people, I did be sending kisses, whether it's a woman, a man, a child. I always express love.
yeah.
But I understand a lot of people mind is toxic. So it's like people that really be the little things that break up relationship and Facebook.
Yeah.
People, if
It's
you're
true.
posting the picture, oh wait, there were you and you posted my picture. Like there's so many things that's like, no, today is crazy for me. But back then with a toxic mind, that was part of the programming.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
it's so true, because it's like you say, like if you walk, that's the part that used to always trip me out all the time, right? And Basi say immaturity. Yep, immaturity. You know, like you just mentioned, like if you walking with your man and another girl watching, you'll be like, why? Like, why are you watching it? But if you with your man and you think your man is the most sexiest, handsome, beautiful, whatever you want to label him as, you got to expect other people is going to be watching him, and you should be happy other people is watching him, because it lets you know you have an attractive person, and vice versa. Even like if I'm walking with my lady and a bunch of dudes is watching her, man, I feel good.
Exactly. Hold
You
her
know?
hand, kiss her up, get them a
Yeah.
show.
That because if she's beautiful, you want people to be attracted to her and look at her and stuff like that. If she go with her girlfriends, it's the same thing. You're gonna expect people gonna talk to your girl and stuff like that, because she's beautiful. You can't. It's just basic. It's like basic common sense, and it's okay. It's
Exactly.
okay. Happy. You know. I'll
Exactly.
be worried if I go somewhere with my
And
lady, or if
nobody
I,
watching.
yeah. Now that's a different story. So, and people got to like 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 Marcia says, like it's immaturity. It's just like
Yeah.
you gotta be mature and be
And
grown.
insecurity too,
Yeah,
because
insecurity. Yep, that's
you know,
true.
long ago, let me tell you how I was long ago. Long ago, the way I view love and the way I view love today is two different way I see love.
Yeah,
Long ago, it was you is mine. Like you are property to me. You belong to me. It's like possessive. That's
yeah,
toxic. That's unhealthy. Today, the way I love today is we are sharing an experience. We are willing participants. We love each other. But at the end of the day, if you want to leave, you're free to leave. I had a good time. Of course, they're gonna hurt because it's feelings.
yeah.
But I do
Facts.
not own you. I
That's
do
true.
not own Mumba. And I
That's
had
true.
to, you know what I'm saying? This is what I talk about, like a healthier mind. People be
Yeah,
detoxing the body and your mind, your mind. A lot of people don't understand is the freaking mind.
it's the
The
mind.
way they think, it don't make no sense. Just like woman fighting for man and man want to fight for woman or kill woman. People gonna do what they want to do regardless.
Yeah,
If you
it's
got
true.
force something, fight something. That's doing too much. Let's say being forcing and being fighting and being pulling.
No, you just gotta let them go. You just gotta let it be free.
Yeah, because it's a big energy. If you
Yeah,
want to be here, you gonna do what you gotta do to be here.
yeah, it's true.
Period.
It's true.
And you gotta be qualified to be here. Cause I working on myself. I don't want nobody that's not working on themselves. So I will give you the story about my husband.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
So when I meet my husband now, remember, the it's beautiful to be with somebody when you're working on yourself or you already did the work, right? I came in a relationship broken, unhealthy. That's what we said we're gonna use
Yeah,
that
yeah.
word.
Unhealthy, unhealthy. Yeah, yeah,
So when I meet my husband, I just hanging out because I just moved to Florida. I just hanging out. He older than me. I never been with anybody with that much age gap. But he was willing to take a chance with me. He said, he pretty much was like, he teach me. Like he saw so much value in me that I wanted to know what if he see. I want to see what he see too because I never understood my real value. Of course, people see me and I never had a problem with men liking me and I never had that problem. But I just the way how he was is like, it was just I've never experienced that one before, or probably I never allow because I never gave a man a chance with that much age gap. So
yeah.
I
He's
probably would have if I had to give that chance.
yeah. He saw the positive. He saw the positive. He saw the positiveness in
Yeah.
you.
And then when I came up here, I was really and truly like, from my job and then my son again, I kind of, so I had to face a lot of stuff
Yeah,
I was running from, because when I down island, I had partying and I having a good time, not wanting to deal with my reality, right? So now I have to deal with my reality and it's like, God, this is a lot of shit. This is all my shit. Cause that's the thing when you with Bamali say you're running and but you
running
can't run
away.
away for yourself. So now
That's
I got to
facts.
sit with myself now.
That's facts.
Cause I was running. I had to sit with myself and like, God damn, this a lot of shit,
Yeah,
you know?
you start you facing the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then I had somebody willing to work with me, man. So, my husband introduced me to, me. He helped me see the me I was running from. And boy, she was beautiful. And then I had to start to work on me. But when my husband met me, he knew that I liked him. I wasn't in love with him. And he told me he proposed in 3 months. And he said, take your time. You're going to be my wife.
mm,
So now remember, it sounds good, but we got to be realistic now that we have healthier minds.
yeah,
Because now, here it is, you're older than me. And here it is, she tell you her whole life story. Because he was his spirit was such a welcoming energy and a welcoming spirit that it made it easy for me to tell the truth, you know,
Yeah.
tell the truth. Because a lot of times women, we don't like to tell you everything. We like to keep some things because we don't want her to have a vision, look at us a certain way.
Yeah.
But I tell you, me,
Understandable.
yeah. But I told him me without the accent. I told him this was who I am. And he still saw a queen. And he still proposed. Now, 2 years later, we got married. And, we did together, we were together 8 years. But, and I just share stories like this on Facebook with my tribe. I call it my tribe because people have a way of fantasizing. Humans like fantasies. But the reality is there's nothing perfect. And the more you stay in reality, is better for your mental health.
It's true.
So
That's true.
me and my
Very
husband
true.
went through, during the marriage we bump heads because now remember,
Understandable.
people think that when you get married, I is this person, and then when I ring on my finger, I just supposed to be somebody else. Now bear in mind, I never lived with a man in my life.
Mm.
So for my husband being, older than me, that I should have been a red flag because she never been married. Her thinking is unhealthy. This is a man that come from two parents household.
Yeah.
He grew up in a church. 'Cause my husband is definitely what would be considered a good husband, a husband any woman would want. But the reality is, you're gambling. Because remember, I didn't have this mind I have now. And you got to become this person. You got to
Yeah.
work on this person.
Yeah. You gotta go through that
But
journey.
the reality is, because I have conversation like this with my husband, like, what did you expect? When you meet a woman, yes, she's beautiful and she's nice and she's caring, whatever. But this is a woman that have triggers and traumas and God damn, when I just meet him with the cosa. I had to learn. I had to learn how to now I pick up
Yeah.
rudy ways. Rudy ways is you have to speak, use the inside voice. I learned how to speak. I learned stuff like that. But
Yeah.
you know, during during the process, it was hard because I'm a woman, never live with a man. I'm a woman, nobody will tell me what to do. And then I have to, it become like it's rules, it's too much rules. Because that's part of growth too. Change is not easy.
Yeah. Change. Yeah. You change. Evolving. You evolving. You
Yes,
changing.
evolving. So, I went through that. I went through the hurricane where I don't want to be married no more. Because I also had to remind my husband, like, listen, you, when you met me, you know who you are married. And ain't like I saw a woman that careless, but I have an unhealthy mind. I'm a woman with a lot of toxic traits. And you think probably because the ring on the finger, the
Like everything will
story has to look
disappear.
different. And
Yeah.
that's why a lot of people out here, like, I be watching a lot of people, like, they don't understand. Like, listen, healing is mandatory. You think when I ring on a finger, your life will just be a whole different life? Or when you get a man that you always wanted, it don't work that way.
Yeah. It
Or,
doesn't.
or a child, sometimes it's even cheering. Some people think cheering gonna change the situation. Like, listen, you waiting on you. That's what you waiting on. You is waiting on you to get out the way. Because it make
Yeah.
more sense. Life makes a lot more sense when you have a healthier mind.
It's true.
It
Because
really
you see
do.
things clearly. You see things more clear.
Yeah.
You're not quick to like judge. You you is like you're understanding everything that's going on. You seek it understanding instead of just quick to judge. Quick to react.
Exactly.
That's yes, and that's part of the
Exactly.
healing.
And even with my husband, because I had to teach you how to communicate because communication is a big problem, you know.
Is the biggest problem. Is the biggest
Yes,
problem. Biggest problem.
man. People don't know how to communicate for real. Because
Yeah.
I had to teach my husband, I still teach him how to express yourself. Don't hold it and say, if you feel a certain way, let's talk about it.
That's
And
it.
when we having a conversation, you know, if I say something, I shouldn't have to like, if I looking at you and you looking like you getting mad because I want to tell the truth, then you gonna make me don't want to tell the truth.
Yeah.
So to avoid that, you have to learn how to communicate. So I listen, I'm a communicator. And I'm glad
Yeah.
I learned like I used to keep a lot of things inside.
Yeah. Because like it's hard. You have to get to that place in life to understand. So like when I don't want to just say like it's easy, but it's like communication is the biggest thing out of anything in the world. Communication is the biggest thing, and communication is communicating to understand. Like if me and you have a disagreement, we not debating, we not trying to prove you right, I'm wrong, you right, or I'm right, you wrong. It's about understanding your perspective and you understanding my perspective, so we could understand why it was a problem and find a way to fix it. So it's all about communicating to understand and to grow. We could agree to disagree, but it's just understanding like, okay, now okay, Chanel, I see why you reacted the way you reacted.
Mm-hmm.
I see what I did, and my intentions wasn't that way, but I see you reacted that way because my facial expression, or my body language
Mm-hmm.
triggered something. So now I know, like, okay, I can't express myself that way because she'll pick up that way and think it's this way and it's not that way, etc., etc. So it's kind of like,
Exactly.
yeah, it's just communicated to understand. And once you could communicate to understand with a loved one or a friend or a husband or a wife, your relationship will be golden because you're so
Yeah.
comfortable knowing that, man, I could talk to Chanel and she's not gonna react anyway. We having
Yeah.
a conversation, we having dialogue, and we just try to grow and become better human beings. And then after that, we go out and get ice cream, we go out and do something, we go out and watch a comedy show
Exactly.
and we laugh about it. Because think about it. And I always tell this to people, and I use this example because you have people where like somebody will call their phone and they won't answer a number that they don't recognize. And I always tell people, like, I always answer any number. You know, the reason being is that you just don't know if is somebody that that's calling you from a different number and is a life and death situation. Because you
Yeah.
never want to not pick up something or do something because you upset at someone, etc., etc. And then come to find out that person, you might not see that person ever again. That's something you have to deal
Yeah.
with for your rest of your life because you had your pride on your shoulder instead
Yeah.
of not having it. So I kind of went off a little bit with that analogy, but it's kind of like similar with the same
Yeah.
thing. You know,
Yeah. No, it's true.
yeah, so it's like it's a bigger picture, like life too short. Let's
Yeah.
talk, let's have fun, let's see how we could grow together and communicate better and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So when you say communication is the foundation of everything.
Yes.
you know
Communication also letting go. You know how many people are tricked into believing that, let's say me and you that together, we break up. I supposed to hate you and you supposed to hate me. You know that's a trick.
it
Because
is.
if I look at it like Mumba, we didn't work out. But I'm thankful because you were my teacher. You teach me things about me. Even if you cheated on me, I knew how it felt to get cheated on. So, you know, I look at that as I look at that as an experience to get better for my next relationship because I showed these things that Mumba wanted that I didn't pay attention to, and vice versa. But
Yeah.
people look at things as we have to hate each other, even with women as friends. Women think because they ain't friends no more, I just supposed to hate she. I don't want to hate anybody that I had an experience with because number one, that shows that I don't know how to release, and I gonna be blocking blessings that's meant for me when I just have up these walls. And I also, you know, my toolkit need those tools. My
Yeah.
toolkit need the tools of rejection. The tools, I need tools like that so I could have those experience.
Very
So that
true.
way, when I go to my another level, because life is about leveling up, evolving, and I
Yeah.
face when an experience like that, I could be like, okay, I don't need that experience again because I experienced it already with Mumba. But
Yeah.
I'm always thankful. This Chanel here, I'm thankful for the friends, for the relationships, you know, that I had in my time because they all serve for that moment and they serve a purpose.
Yeah.
And I knew when to move on.
It's
And they
true.
knew when to move on. People
Yeah.
act like we're here forever. We passing through. So the
Passing
more
through.
people block their blessings, like holding on to hate. I want to travel light. I'm a light traveler. So
Yeah.
people don't know to let go. Let go is
It's
a
true.
big one.
Let go. You
Yeah.
know, I would say, a hater is a hater, or like just hating is like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Because why? Like, what is the reason? I just like, what is the reason?
Man.
Like, why you hate? Like, why you hate? But I like what you said, because your different relationship or friendship, etc., is like you're trying to become a better person. So you ask yourself, what did I do wrong? Why could I do better? What did they do wrong? What did they do right? And that's part of learning, because now, like, okay, like you mentioned earlier, like, okay, I made a mistake here. Okay, I know not to make that mistake again. You gotta be willing to learn. You gotta be willing to learn and
Yeah.
face the truth and realize, like, what, I'm not always right. What I could do to
True.
become a better person. And like you said, we just passing through. We evolving. It's like they always say, like, adversity builds character. And a lot of people use that word, and people, not that word. A lot of people use the saying, adversity builds character, but you gotta really, really meditate on what it means. Like, that's part of evolving. Adversity, it builds character, is like you
Yeah.
evolving as a person. You're not just
Yeah.
saying it just to say it because you sound good. It's really true, you
Yeah.
know? Because it's like they always say, like, imagine you grew up in a household where you grew up rich and you never grew up poor.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know the feeling of growing up poor. You can't
Mm-hmm.
relate to a person growing up poor, because you had everything given to you. You
Mm-hmm.
never faced no adversity. And sometimes you see that with a lot of wealthy people, to the fact, like, whenever they start facing adversity, and sometimes the adversity don't be that big, but to them it's like the
Yeah.
biggest thing, because that's the first time. And sometimes, and God, unfortunately, sometimes people end their life and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
and that's it. Like, sometimes adversity, it helps you. It helps build
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Once you're willing to learn and accept it, like what you're saying. You know, it's and it goes back to life. Life is a journey.
Yeah. Life is like a school.
Yeah,
So you have to have these different experiences. Like at 42, the way I could deal with a heartache, a heartbreak, disappointment is so much easier today than when I had an unhealthy mind.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like today, it is what it is. It really is.
yeah.
Like,
It
stuff
is.
that would have been just like, oh my, like sometimes when even people can fight with me, my response don't be what they're expecting. My response,
Yeah,
because I coming from a healthy space. My mind is healthy. At the end of the day, I gonna remind you, Mumba, you is the sperm. The out of millions, you're the one that made it.
yeah,
Mumba, you're a big deal. Cause Mumba gonna be telling me about Susie and Susie stressing out, and I gonna tell Mumba, you're a big deal, She ain't qualified to be with all of this. If this what she got going on, what you
it's
crying
true.
for, Mumba? What you crying for? I gonna remind you at the end of the day, you're a big deal.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
be the
true.
passenger in your life. This is your life.
Gotta take
You
control.
get one shot here. This is an experience you haven't. Feel it. Okay, hot in. Don't worry, life gonna go on. Just feel it. But
Yeah,
don't stay somewhere when you're tolerated. You want
it's
to be
true.
somewhere where they just tolerate you. You don't think of yourself as a big deal. But I had to learn this, Mumba. That's why I can't blame nobody but me. I hold myself to the highest degree. You think I
Facts.
blame my husband, my child, me? And
You.
I remind my husband every day. That I always tell my husband, I say, Rudy, you can my husband I always be like, he loved me more than he loved himself. And I said, no, 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 no. You got to love you more than me. Cause the only way you could love me is by you loving you. How you gonna tell me you love me more than you love yourself? I can't trust you.
Yeah, it's true.
And then
It's
and
true.
then I got to look at it. If I remove myself, you gonna try kill me? Like I think like that now because my mind healthy. When people are like, I love you to death. Don't love me to death. Don't love me to death. Because at the end of the day, I know how it is to be a codependent.
Yeah.
A codependent person is dependent and the other person is like, I need you to be happy. If you take away your love from me, then I don't know how to eat, sleep, think. No, that's a problem.
That's not love.
So you see where we listen to this music and yes, we entertain, but the way they teach us love is not, it's toxic.
Yeah. It's toxic
And
and
this is why
healthy.
a lot of men they be killing woman and woman killing man because they don't know how to do it. People are freaking mentally insane for real enough. The
Yeah.
society is creating crazy people.
It is. It is. It is.
Man.
We 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 have a question from a viewer. We have from a question from Anja Chanel. Thanks for sharing your journey. Where were you aware that you needed support, and who or where did you get your first professional support? Great question.
Actually, and thank you, beautiful. When I was when my son started to get in trouble, he was probably like 13. Cause my son used to get in trouble a lot. And I started to see myself in my son. Cause I used to get in trouble a lot.
Yeah.
And I took him for therapy. And I even went parenting class. Cause I always was one of those people that want to change the narrative. I wanted to do things different. Right? So I would say when I was in my like maybe like late 20s, early 30s, I ended up taking my son to see a therapist, right? But he ended up being my spiritual advisor. And I'm telling you, like, he was he was an older man. He was a psychologist. But I took my son, but I became his daughter. So he would counsel me and so I started this, but I would run. I would start and then just run because I'm in denial too. Can remember, one thing about us women, especially I grew up in a strong with strong women. We just gotta keep going. Like we gotta fix things. We ain't got time to just be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it got more serious when I met Rudy. When I met Rudy, I was 35 years old. I'm 42 now. So you see how long it took me to really like, okay, I have a problem and I'm the problem. I was 35. Because even though I started, I didn't really take it serious. But when I met Rudy now, and one of the things too, because I have a personality that's very different. So being an island, a woman like me, that's would be considered she wild and crazy because I'm very expressive, I'm very extra. Women like me are not the ones that usually get the ring on the finger, right?
Yeah.
So when Woody picked me, remember in that time I'm learning about Chanel. I ain't really know she's a big deal yet. But just getting picked because being a woman, that's Cinderella story. They indoctrinated us.
Yeah. It's true.
So just getting picked. Like I got picked because in my mind nobody would have picked me for real, for real. That was how my unhealthy mind was. Like, I crazy. Yeah, me and that shit, that woman who got married, we justifying the bullshit, but deep down, we like, God damn.
Yeah,
When the man so long and he ain't even marry you, we so toxic that
yeah,
we don't understand that, okay, you go get married and all, but you think that the problem is gonna stop because you're married? You
it's not
gotta
gonna
deal
stop.
with you,
Yeah.
so to answer Angela, it was Angela to answer
No, no,
Angela.
Andre,
Oh, Andre. So,
Andre.
Andre, to answer your question, I was 35 years old when I realized I was a problem, and I had to take accountability. And I did therapy. I did counseling. I also read books.
Mm.
But healing is something that's a lifestyle for me. It's not a destination. I'm continually learning. But you know, I think I'm doing pretty good so far.
Yeah. You know, I always tell people this is like when you go to see a therapist or a counselor, who is the one that usually do the most talking is the one who's seeking the counseling, right? And I always relate that to people when you're having conversations with people is the same thing. You know, in order for a counselor to help you, or a therapist or a psychologist, you have to express your feelings and what's
Yeah,
going on in your life to them. So they sit there, they listen, they don't interrupt you, or and then they start, then they have a conversation with you or and do what they got to do to help you. And people have to have that mindset when they're having conversations with one another. It's the same thing because the professional person who's helping you, they're listening to understand your problems. In order for them to help you, they got to understand your problems.
yeah,
So it's the same thing we're having a conversation. If me and you having an argument, it's the same thing. We have to be able to listen to each other, to understand, the problems. But at the same time, we have to be willing to express ourselves and be willing to listen for the feedback, and that's the thing. I think if people, I think a lot of people, they have that mindset, they'll do a lot more better with having conversations and stuff like that, you
yeah,
know, and it's all about that unhealthy mind, that
yeah.
unhealthy mind always gravitating to negative,
Yes,
negative
yes,
thoughts and negative comments and always seeing the negative as something as instead
yes,
of seeing the
yes,
positive, so, but that's the way how life is. And in order for us to change and in order for people to change these type of conversations that we having, that's how we make change.
it's true,
We
it's
make
true,
change.
it's true.
Yeah.
And tap in, because we are like, like we have a gender war right now in modern times,
Yeah.
men against women, women against men. But to be honest with you, if you work on you, listen, like you said earlier about, I see the beauty in everything. Like, yeah, there's negative things, but I live a balanced life. So if
Yeah. I like
something
that.
bad happen, I gonna look for, okay, what I was supposed to learn from this. I always look at us. I don't think things are coincidence. I
Yeah.
don't live a life like that. So, it's
It's
like, okay,
true.
what I supposed to learn? I supposed to learn something. So, it's just your mind.
Yeah.
A healthy mind is a beautiful thing.
Beautiful thing.
Man,
Beautiful thing.
damn.
You know, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's like it puts you. It just puts you on a different level in life.
Mm.
It puts you in a different level in life. That's why I tell people, and like my mother passed away in 2000 in 2021, and that's when I
Wow, my
became.
condolences,
Yeah,
man.
thank you. That have been full circle for me. And real quick, like before she passed, like I was in the journey I'm on now. I just began my journey, so I was like, my mother is like same like an island woman. I was raised by a single mother, so strong, independent,
Yeah,
no nonsense, that type of island lady
yeah,
and stuff,
yeah,
so she wasn't really like she didn't show emotions and stuff. Like I'm the oldest, so it wasn't like it was
yeah.
hard, so which is fine. but I was getting to the point where to have like deep conversations, get to really know who she was as a person. When I was on that beginning of that journey, she passed away, you
Yeah.
know. So that's like, so it really like taught me like a lesson, you know. And ever since then, I just been on a different journey where it's just nothing but positivity,
Yeah.
just like living in the moment, living in reality in this moment right now, and just floating, you know, like whatever is negative, like should don't even matter to me. Like I don't know if it's like negative thoughts don't come to my mind and stuff like that or anything like that. You know, it's just like because when you lose, like, you know, and people, maybe a lot of people who lost their parent or maybe their child or someone really really close to them, you know, like they could probably relate. Is like when you lose someone like that, it's like you realize, like, man, like life, like some of the little stuff don't really matter.
Yeah.
Like it really doesn't matter. Like an
Mm,
argument, like that don't really matter, you know. So like when you mention it, like the mind is just like it's all about just positive. It's just seeing the positive even in the negative. It's just always seeing the positive. You know, I always see the glass half full. Like I don't speak no type of negative thoughts into my mind or anything like that. I don't be like, man, I hope this don't happen or nah. I was like, man, this is gonna happen. Let's go. You know, so it's just a positive mentality because at the end of the day, good gonna happen and bad gonna happen. You
it's true.
know, that's just the way of life ain't
It's
perfect.
true.
You know, and you just got to accept it. You know, so like with me, like I've accept life and I've accept everything that comes with life. So whatever happens tomorrow, it is what it is. You know, whatever happens next week, it is what it is. But I ain't even start thinking about next week because I'm in the moment right now having this conversation
Exactly.
with you. You know, so
Exactly.
yeah, so it's just like that. It's just like you said, the mind. The mind is powerful. It's just that positive
Yeah.
mindset, you know, positive mindset. Because at the end of the day, I really could control what I could control. I can't control what you gonna say, how you gonna react. I could only control what I could control, and I could control how I react. You know, so and it's just all about positivity, positiveness.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
and you said something really important, you accept everything that comes with life. So
yeah,
death is part of life, but
yeah,
you also know that there's a rebirth. So when your mom transitioned, right? That you is a continuation of your mom.
facts.
So, cause energy never dies.
Never dies.
So now you being a continuation, you realize where you were building that journey and then she transitioned. But guess what? The birth was what you doing today. The birth was how you see life. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it's always a rebirth, Because the cycle of life is the cycle of life.
So yeah,
So
facts.
even though physically, your mom is not here, she's still here.
Yeah, still here,
And the marathon continue, the music still playing.
still playing.
you know.
Facts. Yeah.
So where your mom grew up, like just like my grandmother, okay, where's my grandmother? My grandmother she was not emotionally available. She was strong, hardworking. It won't no kissy kissy, huggy huggy, sit
Yeah.
down let we have meetings. So this is where I changed the narrative in my bloodline.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
have these kind of conversation. I'm the oldest of 9 children. I set the bar high because I know how it is when a matriarch is no longer here.
Yeah.
I know how important it is to pass these things down. I know how important it is to, you know, can remember, when when my mother had no, that was in daytime. That worked in that time.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to get better every lifetime.
Supposed to get better.
So here I come now. I teaching my mother. I teaching things to my mother that they teach her how to communicate. Mommy, you don't have to yell.
Yeah.
Stuff that I did teach my mother different ways. When I learn something, I teach my mother because she come from a time where that's how they do it.
That's how they do it. Yeah. That's how
That
they
was
did it. Yeah.
normal. So I
Yeah.
have to do something different so that way they who looking they see something different so we could change the narrative
Yeah.
because a hamster wheel it don't work.
Don't walk. It's
You know what
true.
I'm saying? It's supposed to get better, more
Yeah.
healthier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how I look at, when my grandmother died, that was the first person I really that shook my whole world because she was like my mother too.
Yeah.
And my grandmother was a
It's
very
tough.
private person. but she left with so much gems because a lot of stuff we didn't even know.
Mm.
So I'm a very vocal person because everybody just cannot be quiet.
Can't.
Somebody have to tell a story.
Got to. That's
You
so
know,
important. So important.
I I am the talk of the family because nobody else talk. But I'm teaching them how to communicate as well. I'm
Yeah.
teaching them how to express themselves. I'm teaching them that, you know, what you might think is shame. Can they tell you that shame? I gonna show you, oh no, it's not.
It's not
I gonna show you how to stand in the fire and dance in the
deep.
rain.
That's deep.
Because at the end of the day, we having an experience that we all are here to improve
Yeah.
each
Each
of us.
each one teach one.
Yeah, we're here to improve, to add to a different perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's true.
You know, your story shouldn't be looked at as a boogeyman. That's your story. You hiding it for? You stand in your story. That's mine.
Yeah.
I
Standing
was
your truth.
pregnant with my mother. Yes, I was. You know,
Yeah.
I
It's
can't be
true.
ashamed. That's
Can't be
part of
ashamed.
my story in my life book. I ain't
Yeah.
skipping chapters. They're my chapters.
Yeah. You
And
know,
that's this why I am who I am. I'm sorry.
no, no, you good, you good. I was gonna before I said that, I was gonna say like everything you just said, that's what I've learned from that experience, with my mother. That's why I have take while that lesson that you just explained, that's what I'm doing with my son and my daughter. I change in the narrative,
Yeah,
changing the narrative. So everything you just explained, that's what I learned, and that's the same thing I've
yeah,
incorporated. What I was gonna say is like, shame is an illusion.
yeah,
That's what shame is. Shame is just an illusion because why you shame because what you think other people gonna think of you.
yeah,
And whenever you think like that, you're not in control of yourself.
yeah,
You lost in the world.
yes.
You know, like they always say, the bed you mess up, the bed you got to make up. That's
Mhm.
just the way how it is. I might have said that wrong, but you know what I mean. You know,
But I'm sorry.
no, you good, you good.
But you know that you know what's the biggest lie too? Because when you have an unhealthy mind, I gonna think like if I say, oh, like if I'm somebody that care about what people think, it's gonna come back negative. When
Yeah,
my son went to prison, right? It was a big secret. I didn't want nobody in my business. My unhealthy mind was they're gonna talk about, and a lot of things were coming back to. I had to be a bad mother to have our child in jail because that's what your unhealthy mind tells you. It make up scenarios,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
That's the illusion. That's the illusion. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So the unhealthy mind used to tell me, me want nobody in my business and this, and it took my son going to prison for me to see the amount of beautiful people. When I tell you, my son had his own nation. I call it Jaja Nation.
yeah.
People
I like
wrote
that.
my son, send money for my son. I used to read my son letters. I became actually doing life because of my son. Because I said, if I feel this way,
Yeah,
somebody else have to feel like this.
that's true. A lot of
And I
people.
start telling my stories, and that's how people start like loving me
Yeah,
for my son going in prison. So the negative that I had in my mind, I saw different.
yeah.
When I start to get a healthier mind, I start seeing the beauty in people. Like there's a lot
Yeah,
of beautiful people.
yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
We have a viewer question. Do you plan to write a book?
Yes, I do.
I
I've been
like
saying
that.
it
You
for a
should.
long time.
You
Yeah.
definitely should. You know.
I really want to do something home. I think home need more safe spaces. Home need more more, we on the island, part of our culture is to we like mele, right? That's part of the culture. Mele is part of the culture. And belittling and shaming, and we need more safe spaces where people could feel like, you know what? I'm not the only one. And the thing is, a lot of hurt people are hurting people, and a lot of people who going through worse than some people, they're the one that doing all of this because they hurt. See, when you understand, when you have a healthy mind and you hear all of this, you understand a person hot. Like
Yeah,
before, I would be mad, but now with a healthy mind, I could watch you like you hot. Like who hurt you?
yeah.
I didn't hurt you. Direct that
I
somewhere else.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
I ain't
You're
even
right.
yelling at you, Mumba, because I watching you like then you need a hug.
That's true. You're right. I never. You know what? You so right. That's deep.
Yeah.
It's true.
You got
You
it's
know.
your mind, Mumba, the mind powerful
No.
enough.
Yeah. It is powerful. It's powerful. It's
Man.
powerful. You know. It's powerful. You know. Especially when you're in control of your mind. You know. You realize how
Yes.
powerful it is. That's the
Man.
thing. Because like you
Man.
mentioned something earlier, like you mentioned with your son going to prison. You know, and like you said, like you're gonna have people talking like, oh, she was a bad parent or stuff like that. You know, there is two choices with the reaction to that. Like me, I could either talk ill, I could talk bad about you being a bad parent, or I could show you love and find out how I could help you, how I could ease that pain that your son is going to prison. You have two choices. I could talk bad, or I could say, Chinell, yeah, I heard your son went to jail. What I could do? I could write it, I could send you some money. You want to talk? Let's talk about it, etc., etc. It's two ways you could handle it, you know.
Mm.
And and people got to ask themselves, why would if something bad happened to somebody, why would I talk ill will about that person or gossip about the other person instead of trying to help them heal, trying to show love to them? You see, it's a choice, it's a choice. And a lot and is the negativity is like so much people are so drawn to the negativity
Yeah.
that they have no idea, like,
Yeah.
how bad it is, because it's just so, like, it's like a muscle memory to a lot of people,
Yeah.
you know that's the thing, is like,
And a lot of people in pain, Boomba. When you understand, a lot of people is functioning with unhealthy minds.
yeah,
So they're in pain. So
true
like
that.
if I am pain and I feel like my life ain't shit, I want to hear Mumba life ain't shit too. I need company.
That's true. I agree with
You
that's
know, so
true.
I can feel a
I
little
I
better
love
about
that. Yeah,
myself.
that's true. Yeah, it's like a comfort. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
You
You're right.
know?
That's so true. So
You know,
true.
so it's like when
That's
you
so
get a
true.
healthy mind, you understand. Like sad people speak sad, they do sad shit.
I
Because
like the way you
when
put
you
that.
full of love, Mumba, listen, listen, I'm having a good time. Listen.
Yeah.
I gonna have a moment, Mumba, cause human, and I gonna have a moment,
Yeah.
a healthy mind. Cause see, a healthy mind, right? Like when my son went to prison, I share stories. I became a better mother. My son going to prison, I became a better mother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had to
Because
sit in my story too. That was my story. Some of the stuff some of the stuff I had to take accountability. Like, you know what? My son had a father, but I was jealous and bitter. And I didn't want his
mm,
father to enjoy my child because my child. He have other children. This one is mine. Everything was mine, mine, mine. Okay. Well, this your
yeah,
problem too.
that's true.
You know what I'm
And
saying? Like, I had to keep it
I was gonna ask
real.
you that. I was gonna ask you that, but you said it. That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
man. I had to keep it real, Mumba.
Yeah.
Keeping it real saved my life. It saved my
Yeah.
life. I don't care what look to Susie or Mary. That's my story. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
have to keep it real with me because at the end of the day, I got work with me. You know what I'm saying? I got
It's
work
true.
with this person. I deal with this person 24/7. This is my greatest assignment. Me. So you think Susie and Mary talking about me could hurt me? I look at Susie and Mary like she only wish she could have sit in her story like me.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You 100% right. I never thought about it that way, but the way how you break it down, the sad,
Mm-hmm.
the unhealthy mind. It's true. You so right, man. That's so deep. That's so deep.
Mm-hmm.
You dropping gems. You dropping gems tonight. You dropping gems tonight.
And I
You
doing
dropping
good in
gems.
no Mumba because she did Mumba when she get passionate, she did be cussing bad. What you know?
I
So
know. Yeah,
I'm doing a good job, Mumba. Trust me.
I
My
appreciate that.
my gang no, she they go heavy, She get one of them and then I like to cuss. But Mumba, I'm definitely here. I'm present. and I'm a good girl tonight.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
And I'm drinking my water. Cause usually she get her little Hennessy. But you know, she showing respect. And Marcia, you know she give Mumba a lot of respect tonight.
No, I appreciate it. And it's the same way, both ways. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. So, what makes you happy?
Man, I could go all night, but I go make it short. Mumbai, it took me a long time to know what happiness was. I used to look at happiness in relationship, in everything outside of me. I speak on myself in third person because, man, I so yummy. Like, it's like my avatar and my spirit, right? Have this beautiful connection, and my avatar to be like, I just so lucky to walk around with you every day. Happiness is when I could touch that ground, when I could open my eye, and like, damn, I got another opportunity to be with you again.
Mm.
Being with me makes me happy. Being, continuing, this journey of healing and growing and learning makes me happy, Mumba. It had a time in my life when, like right now, me no nails, me no lashes. That was a no-no. That was a no-no. You won't catching me off guard. These always stay done. I love all of this. That I don't need, you know what I'm saying? If I do it, I do it. If I don't, I don't.
Yeah.
This is me. This is magic. This is medicine. Yes. Okay? I'm a feeling, I'm a vibe. And I get to be with this all the time. Mama, I make me happy. I'm obsessed.
Love that.
Okay?
I love that.
So because I'm filled with all of this yumminess, when I out in Jan public or in spaces and places, I get to remind you who you are just by, what I'm saying, igniting and reminding. You know what I'm saying? Because you should look at yourself that way too. So in order for me to give my husband happiness, I have to come with it. See, people have it messed up. They're thinking marriage gonna make them happy. Children, job. You got to be happy with you. You got to get to that place where, listen, you love all this yumminess because you know the real me is inside. This is my avatar, but my flesh, my avatar is so blessed to have an energy like this, have a mind like this.
Yeah, it's true.
I make me happy. Me. I make Chinell happy. So Chinell could be happy for everybody else.
It's true.
What make you happy? What make you happy?
You know what's so funny? It's pretty much the same thing. It's just being me. Like I'm happy. Like I'm 100% confident. Like I tell my son all the time. I was like, man, wherever I go, like I'm the boss. Like I'm the shit. Like wherever I go, whoever I'm at, like I'm confident. I don't have to prove it, but like I'm confident. I'm really like humble and quiet. But wherever I'm at, I'm confident. I know I'm the realest. I'm the happiest. Like just be me, knowing who I am, knowing that I'm free. That's what makes me happy. Like I'm free. Free meaning that I could go anywhere in the world. I could meet anybody in the world, the richest man to the poorest man. I gonna treat them with the same respect. That's me being happy. Like I'm free. Like there is nobody could change could change my happiness. I'm not judging anybody. I don't care how anybody look or anything like that. Like I don't care how much whatever this person or what this person with. Nothing like that. Like I'm happy with who I'm at, where I'm at, and everything like that. I'm happy because you have no choice. You have a choice to be happy or not be happy.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm happy just being free, being who I am. That's why I asked you, what makes you happy? What's happiness? So yeah. It's the same thing. Same thing. That's why I was like, it's amazing to hear your answer. because like I think when we was on Candice podcast, 100 dates in 100 nights, it's the same thing. Like in order for you to make somebody happy, you got to be happy. You got to
Yeah.
be happy. In order for you to be,
Yeah.
you got to be happy. If you're not happy, you can't really make nobody happy. You got to be
Yeah.
happy.
Mm.
You got to be happy. The way how the wall is, you got to find happiness from within.
Yeah.
Got to,
Yeah.
got to.
And it's hard for a lot of men because the thing is, women are thinking the men is supposed to make them happy. That's the
Yeah,
part. Because remember, men are like logical thinkers. So I think men have to really sit down and have real conversation. They have to learn how to communicate because a lot of women are not picking an agenda, but
no, no, you speaking the truth.
you know, the way these fantasy and them stories and TV shows, they trick women. They really trick women, and they sell them a dream. So they looking outside for everything, not realizing, girl, you is the love you've been waiting for.
Yeah,
No love gonna work until you work on yourself.
it's
You
true.
could be in a relationship and you could pretend and but if you really want real love, love yourself and everything will change. Mumba, when you see you love yourself, because you're putting up with no nothing. You already know you're gonna be qualified to be here because these my boundaries.
Yeah, it's
You
facts.
stand 10 toes for you. Okay, you
Facts.
show up for you. You ain't playing with you because you owe you. But you gotta love yourself first. You gotta pour all that love you give it to people. Pour it in you. Pour it in you, and you're gonna see everything gonna be so easy. It's
Easy.
gonna
It's
be easy
true.
to walk away. It's gonna be easy to to speak up.
Yeah,
Like things is different when you have a healthy mind. Period. Because
yeah,
healthy relationships are needed. The toxic relationship has been glorified, and it did its time.
it's
It's
true.
out of style. It's out of style.
Yeah, it's all the style, you know. And you said something important. Is like once you happy, and you meet someone, like it's easy to walk away because it's like what's the foundation, with everything,
Yeah.
because a lot of people get caught up with the and physical appearance and stuff like that is important, but you once you fall in love with somebody for who they are in the inside, is
Mhm.
who is their morals, their principles, their values and stuff like that. That's what really determines the person and stuff like that. And the outside is kind of like a bonus. It's kind of like a
It's true.
bonus.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true because
It's true.
you could be with the sexiest guy in the world. I could be with the sexiest lady in the world, and you can't even have a decent conversation with the person.
Exactly.
It's like like you love this person just because the way how they look, the outer layer.
Yeah.
Nah, the inner layer, the inside is the
Yeah.
inside what carries things to the next level. And is that happiness. Once you be with somebody that's happy, they gonna help you. They gonna guide you. They gonna help you. They gonna teach you. If you willing to be taught.
Exactly. If you're willing.
Yeah,
Yes.
and if you happy, you're gonna be willing. And
Yes.
if two
Yes.
happy people meet with each other, it's always gonna be happiness, even through turbulent times and stuff
Yes.
like. Because we're not perfect. It's
Exactly.
arguments and stuff are gonna happen, but at the end of the day, the happiness gonna always win. The happiness is love. Love is
Yes.
happiness.
I love gonna always win. Ain't
Always
it
win.
beautiful to just be full of love?
Always, yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Man, that's my high right there, and I just happy. You
Happy.
see, I be you see all in the morning. I be doing videos. I want to cheer people up and let them know. Listen, you win the lottery, you make it today.
Yeah,
You know.
it's true.
So when I see sad people, Mumba, I understand. They
Yeah,
sad and they miserable and they angry because they don't want to change their mind. That's
yeah,
a choice. They're choosing to be angry, sad, and miserable. Okay, you could choose to be happy and full of love.
yeah. You can, you can. That's where that's where that ego and that pride, man. It's the ego and pride is dangerous, and ego and pride is kind of like is like that is that negative inner voice, you
Mm-hmm.
know, is like when we talk about like worrying about what people think, that
Yeah.
pride, that ego, worrying. No, I gotta be, no, I got to be this, I got to be that. You wrong, you wrong, you right, you right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. So it's like it's just finding that freedom, finding that freedom, finding that opening.
Escaping the mental prison.
Yeah,
You
mental
see,
prison. I like
you
that.
have to you have to work on yourself for real, because the voices, your inner voices should be healthy voices, and your inner voices should be louder than the outside voice. See,
Facts.
my inner
Yes.
voice loud and healthy and heavy, she's pressure. So whatever people say outside, listen, it bouncing off my back, because the inner voice in me, she they do the most. And it's a healthy place. My
Yeah,
inner voice, they check me when I run to, like, listen, you didn't have to do all of that there.
man, that's crazy you said that because I'm the same exact way. You know, it's the same. I'm the same exact way. I'm the same exact way. You know, and that's the part of the healing. That's part of the healing. Because just the environment, the wall. The
Yeah,
wall the wall is unhealthy. The wall is
yeah,
unhealthy.
yeah, yeah.
It's very unhealthy.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really.
You
And look
know,
at the music. Look at how the people we supposed to be looking at entertainers as entertainers. Yet we get them. We don't take entertainers serious. Like, do you realize these people have to take all type of drugs for a little sanity? People are
yeah,
watching them all the time, taking pictures, making up stories. They can't trust people. They have to be on drugs. They are
yeah,
drinking, popping pills, something, shopping.
yeah,
They have to do something to escape,
yeah. They're numbing the
because
pain. They're
the
numbing that
people
pain.
want more. They want more. They want more. They're
Yeah,
fantasizing. They want to be like these celebrities. These celebrities is human beings too.
yeah,
So they're sick in their mind. Everybody's sick. Man, people sick in their mind now.
yeah. It's true. You see it every day. You seen it. You seen it. And some people have no control. They lost. They
Yeah,
lost, and it's sad to see. It's real sad to see, especially when you have a healthy man. It's sad to see because you be like, just seeing them just lose the self.
yeah.
That's the thing, man, which is so sad. Which
And
is
then
so sad.
with social media now, we have people performing and acting, and I mean the shit don't stop.
Doesn't.
Because people want to. You remember back then when we had less, we were more together,
More together.
and we had less. Now we have more. We want to outshine each other.
Yeah. Greed.
This shit is crazy. This
Yeah.
shit is really crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Everybody want to outdo everybody. We have people in these social streets taking their last to go on a trip to take pictures, so that way you could see it and get jealous, or to prove that they because remember, the number never end. So at the end of the day, it's like they want to feel like they're up here, right?
Yeah.
Because that's our part of being insecure too. Because if you
Yeah.
got to
That's what
spit
it
at
is.
somebody, or you gotta do all of that, they just to feel like you better than somebody. You already show me with a healthy mind, you got low self-esteem.
Very true.
Take
Yeah.
away all of them stuff from you, and you empty. You's an empty barrel.
Yeah. It's true. It's insecurity.
Yes.
That's what it is.
So we got people sacrificing a lot, even in mental health, trying to keep up with the Jones. While the Jones trying to keep up with the Kardashians. The Kardashians trying to keep up with the Clintons. It never stopped.
Never
This is
stop.
this is digital crack.
That's what is digital crack. Is mental slavery.
Yes.
Mental slavery. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves go free our mind. That's
Yes.
what it is.
Listen.
It's and social media. That's the drug. It's the most dangerous
Yeah.
drug. A
I-
lot of everybody's doing it. People want likes. They just the likes. The likes. It's
Yes.
like it's
Man.
so it's sad, man. It's so sad.
And that's
It's
why,
sad.
Mumba, I they bring smiles.
That's
Because my
it.
healthy mind understand most people are on digital crack.
Yeah.
Most people are depressed. Most because a lot of people are depressed. They're on social media, they're watching your life, they're watching my life, and here it is. We could be pretending for they all they know, but they're jealous.
Yeah.
No,
It's
they
true.
vex for you, they vex for me because oh I look happier than them. This is what it be going on, so Mumba. You know how I escape that? I show reality on my social media.
Yeah.
I show big energy. I cry, I laugh, I dance, I curse. Listen, this is all of me. I'm human.
Yeah.
And I running away from me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's
So
true.
I don't want nobody put me on no pedestal. Cause the thing is with human beings, when they put you up, so you can't do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You can't do, don't let it put you up, sir. Don't let it put you up, sir. When they put you up, sir, they have you at a higher degree than they have their own damn
Be
selves.
on himself. Yeah.
Okay? Then
Yeah.
I got to pop with too much because you get me a pedestal. I don't want to be on your pedestal. No. I didn't fall down, I didn't get back up, I didn't make mistake. I didn't
Yeah.
listen.
That's
I'm
life.
human.
Yep.
This roller coaster ride, I'm having a hell of a time.
It's true.
And that's good for my mental health, Mumba, because I understand people out here trying to fit something that they can't fit in. There's nothing perfect.
Nothing perfect.
Nothing. The world ain't
Nothing.
even perfect.
It's true.
The world ain't even perfect. So how you think you could get a perfect life? That's a delusion.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's sad because so many people is just lost into that illusion, that
Mhm.
delusion. They just last.
Yeah.
And it's really sad to see because they don't have no foundation, they don't have no morals, they don't have no principles, they don't have no values, nothing. They don't have nothing. Their integrity is lost. Like everything is
Yeah.
lost. Like it's lost. When they decide to find it, it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late.
Yeah.
It's gonna be too late. Another question for you. If you had a billboard to spread a worldwide message to everybody in the world, what would your billboard message be?
Change the narrative.
I like that.
The story. We all know the same story. How much story we need? How much story we need? Like seriously. Change the narrative.
Change the
You know what I'm
narrative.
saying? The story don't need to be the same story. My mother had a story, I had a story. When we look back, it's the same thing on the hamster wheel. The
Yeah,
hamster wheel is like, God damn, we need another formula.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? We keep coming back in lifetime. You know what I'm saying? We keep coming back, we keep coming back. The story still the same, just different characters. And people do that in relationship. You can't tell me you're 50 years old and you still telling me the same story when you were 20. So the body, the man them different, but the story is the same.
same. Yeah, no growth,
Yeah, so we
no
gotta change
growth.
the narrative. We got to the old story. Listen, that story did its time. What we bringing in this time?
Yeah, we're bringing it this
Where we
time. Yeah,
leaving? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. It's true. I
Yeah.
like that. Change the narrative. If you had five dinner guests to join you at five dinner guests, dead or alive, to join you at a dinner, dead or alive, you would like to have at your dinner table to have a conversation with.
My grandmother, Miss Roma Williams. She's no longer here.
I'm glad you said her name though. I love that. I love that you said her
Yes.
name.
That's how
You
we
know,
keep them alive, you
yeah,
know?
that's the same thing I think in.
You know. Mr. Reggie, he was my grandfather. He's no longer here. He's the first man that teach me how to read and saw me as a child.
Mm,
Ilania Van Zandt, that's the woman that I don't know if you know Ilania Van Zandt.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to see
she's
a
actually
picture.
alive. You gotta look her up because she's very she's into like healing. She's actually the person that when I was self-teaching,
Uh
that
huh.
was my teacher.
Okay.
So I'm a big fan of hers. I have her books. So Dr. Kinshigan, he's no longer here. He was my spiritual advisor, my mentor. He was the therapist for my son that became, my therapist. And he's believed in me. He believed in me. And one of the things he always pushed, like I need to be a motivational speaker, and he always saw me. So he was definitely connected into my life,
Yeah.
to take me to the next level. But I used to always be running, running, running. But the seeds he planted, they definitely, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
they grew.
They
They
grow.
just
Yeah.
they just were taking long at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the good thing about it is, why, how you know to grow is that the fact that you acknowledge that and you're honest with yourself.
Yes.
That's a show that they're growing.
My fourth grade teacher, Miss Campton,
Mm.
she was such a mother figure. Like you go to school, but you remember that one teacher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miss Campton was that teacher. She was just such a mother figure. She was gentle. Cause growing up, women were always yelling and screaming and strong.
Yeah.
So just having a teacher that's so soft spoken and just, you know, and of course, Sabrina Merrill. She's no longer here,
Mm.
but Sabrina was my biggest supporter. Yes, she was very opposite to me, but I did and say things that she wished she could have do and say. You understand?
Yeah.
So there's people,
I
right,
see that. Yeah.
that they wish they could have they wish they could have said things and expressed themselves or just live out loud.
Yeah. Be more
But because of
courageous.
family and friends, they play it safe.
Yeah. Understandable. Yeah.
So, you know, she was always someone that would she always believe in me. She always believe in me. And she was always a friend that I could have called, and no judgment. When I rang, you know, and she's no longer here, but
Yeah.
my table would be so beautiful. My table would be beautiful because it would be beautiful energy. Because I'm into energy. I'm into exchange. I
Yeah.
pour in you, you pour in me. We create magic.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be. That's how the walls spin. Energy.
Yeah.
Energy is so big. 5 words that describe you as a person.
Five is a little bit, but I'm so extra as you can tell. I'm very loving. I'm very, very loving. I'm loving. I'm humorous because I love to make people laugh.
Yeah.
I could find a humor in anything. You know, I love to dress up. I like to dress up and look nice. You know, um, I kind of embrace the crazy being in this world because this world normal is weird to me. So I'm
I
definitely
like that.
one that would be like a weirdo, spontaneous, adventurous. But I kind of like the crazy one that they give me. Cause they've been calling me crazy for a long time. I embrace it and I love it because, you know, humans
Yeah.
are weird. Humans are weird. But I'm a gift to this realm. I'm majestic, magical, and I'm a gift to this realm. So enjoy it while you can, because one day she'll be out of here, which is the avatar, because the energy will continue.
Continue. Yep. Energy never dies.
Period.
Yeah. What do you think about often?
Not living.
Mm.
I each day that each breath I take, I value it because I know one day it'll be a movie. It'll be a memory. So
It's
just
true.
not being able to live, you know?
Yeah,
Like even with my husband, he's very like laid back and chill. Like, you know, people die every day.
yeah, it's
I don't
true.
want to miss, like I really want to have a full experience. The good, the bad, the pretty, and the ugly. I want to enjoy it. I want to be present. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I love big. You know, I'm a family oriented person. I show love everywhere I go. At my job, anywhere Chanel go, Chanel is bringing love with her. So I like to, you know, every day when I go on Facebook, my thing is to leave a message, to pour into somebody because I know they're reading. They ain't got
yeah,
to like it, but you're watching it.
yeah.
So I gonna be your daily bread.
I like that. You know, and I say once, and is once you touch one person positive, positively, once you affect them and you create change in their life for the good, you did your job.
Yeah.
Just once you touch one person, that's all that matters. You know, do you have any places you would love to visit?
Africa.
Mm,
Definitely Africa.
that's my number one. The pyramids for me.
Yes, yes. I mean, of course, Africa is a continent.
Yeah,
I want to go to Ghana, Zimbabwe, Kenya. You know, I just really want to, I really, you know, I really want to get an energy on the motherland, you know,
yeah,
get a vibe before I transition.
yeah. Me too. Me too. Which musical artists you listen to that puts you in the right state of mind?
I'm a music lover. Depends on what state I'm in because, you know, I indulge in, you know, if I'm feeling sexy, I get a Dexter Dabs, you know, put me in the mood, you know. But I'm a
Ah,
lover of music, so you know, I love me some Midnight. I love you know, Tanya, Taras Riley, Chronics. Like I'm a music lover, so it just depends. I didn't even listen to country, you know, like
yeah,
it just depends. So it depends on one mood because we get, you know, mood ain't just one thing. You know, what mood you talking about
yeah. That's true. I got I gotta be more specific. So
Mumbai.
when okay, what type of music, what type of artist or music you turn to when you are in a deep state of mind, like deep thoughts, thinking, trying to elevate.
I'm a big lover of, I love chronics because I like to think, you know. I love me some chronics. I love Tara. Well, I love Beres.
Paris is the
You know,
man.
because Beres is universal. Beres really have a song for any emotion.
Yeah,
You know, he get you thinking like, you know. But you know, Bob Marley, I had to go back to my roots. I was listening to Bonnie Wheeler the other day.
yeah,
You know, because the messages in the music, you know.
yeah. It's
When you
true.
go back and you listen to when you listen like natural mystic.
That's a deep song.
What? You
That's
know,
a
like
deep
when you
song.
young, you listening to it, but it don't hit you until you really start to like
That's a deep song.
you really what
He got some deep. Brother Bob got some deep song.
man,
He got some deep
man,
ones.
deep,
Yeah, deep,
deep, deep, deep.
deep songs
That was the
for real.
messenger. That was the prophet.
Yeah,
You
some
know
deep
who?
song.
You know Midnight Van. Van was definitely like if you listen to Van, you don't listen to Van for Midnight.
No, no, I haven't.
Yeah, man, you got tap in, man.
I
That's
got
some
top. I never really,
cool.
never
Yeah,
really like
man.
listen, like listen.
Yeah,
So I got to tap in. I mean,
yeah,
I hear
man.
midnight and
Or
but
even interviews, that mind was a different level type of mind. I
yeah,
like interviews though, because I don't watch TV. So I like interview. Like if I like somebody, I like the interviews.
yeah,
So like
because
when you know you get to
you
really
get to
know.
really Yeah, you kind of, it's kind of like they let you enter their mind.
Yeah.
They let you in, so you kind of really see, the type of person they are,
Yeah.
because they make you more because it's like they show that they're vulnerable too. They
Yeah.
kind of open up to realize like what you see is not really who this person is. I got
It's
my
true.
flaws, I get my my mistakes and stuff like that. So like with interviews, like you said, yeah, you
That's why
know,
I don't understand why if you see like with relationship, like even if I was single, I wouldn't have a hard time finding anybody because I did conversate.
yeah,
See, people don't really conversate or they don't ask the right questions or don't, it will be so easy because if you conversating, me and you on a date, we should know by the time that date done if it's gonna be a second date.
yeah. Just by the
Because we
conversation. Yeah,
conversating and we ask it, it's like an interview.
yeah,
So we know there's a communication problem why people struggle in the dating scene.
yeah. No mental connection.
Yeah,
Is that mental connection is from that, is that conversation.
yeah,
The conversation is the foundation. You know, because your intention is getting to know the person.
exactly,
You just trying to get to know the person. So you ask
exactly.
questions about when you was a little girl. Different stuff. What was your goals in life. Etc. What you usually, what you think about. There's so many different stuff you could
It's
talk
so
about
many
just
things.
tapping in. Yeah,
Like
you know,
what you been doing to work on yourself because I into healing. So if
yeah,
I was supposed to be dating, I'd be like, so Mumba, what you do, like, what's your morning routine, like what's your ritual, like what are you,
yeah,
how you have been working on yourself, what books you read, like that shit I be on. Like, listen, that's the kind of conversation I would be asking. I don't know
yeah.
what these women to be out here asking or what these men to be out here asking because dating should not be hard.
No, it's easy. It's easy. Is that communication. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because if like you just ask me like what book you like to read, and if you are if you like to read books, then we get into a conversation about books.
Exactly.
That's a great conversation to have.
Exactly.
And then we might find something in common that we both read the same book, and then our conversation is based on a book that we read, and the book could affect us, or our interpretation of the book could be totally different, but we are fascinated by. I might be fascinated by the way how you view the book, and you might be fascinated by the way how I view the book, and that just created a great conversation just off of that.
Exactly. And guess
Yeah,
what? It also put me in a higher rank because how much
yeah,
people would really be like, damn, I read that book. Like, you don't
yeah,
understand? Like,
yeah,
people have to, this is men and for women. When you're dating, it's like you're competing against somebody else. So if you want to rank up, especially ladies, my ladies, if you're still there, if you meeting, let's say we're gonna use Mumba. Okay,
yeah,
Mumba is the guy you've been watching Mumba for a while. You gotta treat this year like a pageant. Cause they're gonna be a winner and they're gonna be a first place, second place, third place. So you gotta listen. We have contestants vying for Mumba. So at the end of the
yeah,
day, you got to definitely work for Mumba. That's another trick.
yeah. It's true.
Because women don't think they need to work for the man. It's just his job alone. Half the time they ain't communicating. So it's like he got read her mind. He know what he got work with. But if you treat this thing like a pageant, cause ladies, y'all know pageant very well. Y'all know pageant very well. Treat Mumba as the reward. So you know there's other people vying for the title of Mumba. So you going in there and you going with your best. You know what I'm saying? You going to
No,
work
it's
hard
true.
to get him.
It's true. That's
This
how
is
it should be.
lazy.
Yeah. Vice versa. Vice versa. That's how it should
And
be.
vice versa,
Yeah. That's how it should be. That's how it should be.
Bro, they're lazy, man. They're too
Yeah.
lazy. They're too lazy, man and woman.
Yeah. Because it's like everybody wants the easy way. Everybody wants the easy way. But
Or
uh,
they're going back to back in the days. Yes, men used to do this and women used to do that because women would be like, they want a man to, I need a man that's like this. But then the women, them is not like that. My husband come from a different time. He
yeah.
see his mother stay home, his father work. I didn't come from that upbringing. I come from working woman.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
You know what
That's
I'm saying?
true.
So yes, he expect You know, because me and my husband have done bump heads, like, because he come from a different time.
Yeah.
I had to pump the brakes, like, listen, if you want the sister Betty for the choir, that's who you should have married, because I ain't her. And I had to be real, because at the end of the day, remember, I have a healthy mind.
Yeah, got to.
You is who took a chance with me. I remember telling my husband, you sure my Ras crazy? No, we could be friends. I say, you took a chance knowing this woman never lived with a man. This woman, she's a cusser. You know, you took a chance knowing she was traumatized. She was still in love with somebody else. That was your choice. You took that chance.
Yeah.
I'd have to teach my husband accountability too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, when you have a healthy mind, you gotta make sense. It have to make sense. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
it's true.
It have to make sense. So I'd be all over the place, Mom. I'm sorry.
No, no, you good, you good.
Yeah,
It's
we just
just,
all over.
and that's the beauty, and that's the beauty of conversation. Because it's funny you said that, because I was gonna say, when you could have a conversation about anything, and
Mhm.
with someone, that's the greatest feeling in the world, knowing that you could be hard on that person throughout the conversation, and they won't take it anyway, because they
Yeah,
know who you are deep, deep inside who you
yeah,
are as a person. Like you say, you're a passionate person. So how you come out, you're gonna come out passionate.
yeah,
But your husband know who you really are as a person, and
yeah.
he understands, so he won't take it anyway.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of our conversation. It's just,
Yeah.
being able to talk about anything under the sun.
Anything, and
That's the
having an
best
open
feeling.
mind.
Yeah, having an open mind.
Yes.
Nobody perfect. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty. That's healthy minds. Ain't
Yes.
nothing better than two healthy minds coming together.
What? Man,
Best feeling in the world.
healthy
You know.
mind is, listen. We want
Yeah.
healthy relationship, okay? Healing
Yeah.
is the new flex.
Healing is the new flex. I love that. It's true.
Right? Healing is the
Yeah.
new flex, Mumba.
Yeah. Healing
Okay,
is the
for
new flex.
ladies who dating, men who dating, you want a partner that's on the healing journey. Okay, and
Yeah.
you want she to just tell you she healing. You want to know how she
How
healing.
she healing? You want to
You
know.
want
You
to
want to
know. Let me
understand. Yeah.
break it down.
Yeah. You want to know, because you're gonna be a part of that journey too.
Exactly.
You gotta be that backbone. We not
What?
perfect. We some As we heal, we gonna be sad. We gonna cry. We gonna need
Yes.
somebody to talk to.
Yes. And
That's
somebody,
love. That's love, and that's life.
yeah. And you know, Mumba, when you healing and you have a partner that helping you on your journey, because what people don't understand now, when you have a healthy mind, your partner need to also, cause energy is a real thing. You sleeping with this person, you having sex with this person, that's energy exchange.
Energy
You
exchange.
know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So at the end of
Yeah.
the day, like the frequency, the vibration, listen, this thing, your partner got to be on that journey too.
Got to.
Because
Yeah.
that partner could take you back. You know how hard it is working on you. So it's like he got to be aware of the triggers. He got to be like, my husband understand, like, certain things could be a trigger. He understand that sometimes I might get a little emotional. He know, okay, she needs space.
Yeah.
Just give she
Yeah.
some time. He check on me, honey, you okay?
Yep.
He understand this. Listen, a
That's what it's
woman
supposed to
that's
be.
working herself is hard enough.
Yeah.
So your partner have to be there, like, and it's vice versa too. Women, you got to be there. Your man working on himself. Tell him things like, how are you doing, Mumba? How was your day? Give him a kiss, leave you alone. Because
Yeah.
sometimes people need less space.
Yeah.
But still check
Positive.
in.
Yeah.
You all right? Yeah, a kiss. Okay, again. You want to talk about anything? You don't look like you're too happy today. You want to talk? We have to learn different ways.
Yeah. It's true. Keep
We
it
have to
positive. It's just,
learn.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
positive energy. Positive energy. Under
Yeah.
any circumstances, positive energy. You're gonna win. You're gonna learn together. You're gonna
Yeah.
win together. You know.
Yes.
You know. Once that negative energy come in somewhere, it's gonna be a failure. It's gonna fail.
Or you could use it to your advantage, because sometimes chaos bring peace.
That's true.
Because sometimes people still ain't communicating and people still ain't trying to face the reality. So sometimes chaos have
Yeah,
to happen for us to really sit on, okay, we gotta go back to the drawing board, Mumba.
yeah,
I've been, because you could suppress something, but it shows up.
yeah. It
Eventually
shows
it will
up.
show
Yeah,
up
it
front
shows
seat,
up. Yeah, it's true.
so you're lying to yourself.
Definitely don't. Nobody. That's the worst thing you could do to yourself is lie to yourself.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous. That's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
When you was a I have another question for you. What you wanted to be when you was a when you was a child, when you was growing up, like what was your dream, like what you wanted to be when you became an adult?
When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a model and an actress.
Mm,
I really wanted to be on the runway because I was skinny, and I always like lights, camera, action, and
yeah, yeah, nice,
pageant shows and stuff like that. So I wanted to be a model and I wanted to be an actress. So
nice.
when you see me
That's
on
really
Facebook doing the most, that's really naturally me. That's my own performance and my platform.
that's lovely. That's lovely. You got that's the thing in life. You just got to be you.
Yeah.
You got to be you. Whatever makes you happy, what brings joy to your heart, you just got to be it.
Yeah.
Some people gonna love it and some people ain't gonna love it. Unfortunately, that's just the way how the wall is.
Yeah,
You
that's the
know,
balance too, and it's supposed to
yeah,
be that way.
yeah,
Everybody can't agree.
yeah. That's true.
When you
You know,
think like that, when you understand that everybody's not supposed to agree,
yeah. If
you're gonna
everybody
have
agree, become a everybody gonna be robots.
exactly.
You
And I don't
know,
want to be the one with the control. I have low self-esteem if I expect everybody to agree with me. I'm supposed to be okay with who disagree. Because you
yeah,
could even people who disagree, you could be you could be inspired to, or you could even look at it like, damn, and I your mind like that. Like for
yeah,
a
yeah,
hater, I that's how I train my mind. I train my mind to flip the script. So if somebody says something negative, oh well, that's their opinion. That's how they feel. I
yeah,
said, but God damn, right there, your mind like that. I taking up that kind of space in your world. Like I flip the script because energy is a real thing. I could allow that
yeah,
energy to come in my space and then now they controlling my emotion.
yeah. It's true. It's
They get
true.
me mad. No, I'm mad for the whole day because the way Mumba said. So Mumba controlling me.
Yeah. Anybody who could control you, anybody who could make you upset or anything like that, that's it's like they your master.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
He's the puppet master, and I the damn clown.
It's the same way. I'd just like, if it's hate or anything like that, I'd just say like, man, I'm on a different planet than that person, man. It is what
Yeah.
it is.
Oh, that's me. I am
Yeah, I'm on a different planet. Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is. You
mm-hmm.
know. So, so this is my last question for you. Last question I have for you tonight.
Mm-hmm.
If there is anybody who, me so I can ask this. I tripping out right now. Okay, if it's somebody you would like to see on the podcast, who would you like to see?
Kirk Hazel.
Kirk
Kirk
Hazel?
Hazel. I
Kirk
just
Hazel.
I
Okay,
just love his evolution.
nice. Kirk Hazel.
He's
We
very
gotta get Kirk Hazel on.
yeah, we gotta get Kirk Hazel on because he will speak from a man point of view the other day. We did a little lunchtime live and he shared that, he was in the military
Mm,
and well, we knew he was in the military, but he was in war and he got hit by lightning.
wow.
I remember when he first started on his journey, and Kirk would be more. This is why I was telling him how I love his evolution because when he first started, he was a guy talking about healing and growth, but he was more like a sexual object. Like some women were more because he looked fine, and
Yeah,
but then I started change because the more you grow and you learn,
yeah.
it just hit different.
It's true. It's
Know?
true.
Now it's like, he get lax. It's like, I know because I remember, like I was telling you earlier, when I had to have my lashes and my nails on, I had to make sure everything, I could care less. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But I love how he, level up to, especially being that he went in the military.
yeah.
So
Like how
the
we transition.
military, yeah, like the battle of the mind is something that he had to, what I'm saying? Like from coming out of the military to still have his mind because like he
Mm,
said, he saw so much.
yeah,
So to work on himself was like, damn, he even, what I'm saying, he fighting the war and also the mind. He had a battle going on in the mind and he overcame that
mm,
and shared that with us. So
wow.
I hold him to a high esteem because I know the journey is not easy.
Not easy.
And he's
Not
a
easy.
guy, being
Yeah,
a man, it even harder. So he just
yeah,
share these videos and then he share a lot of himself online. You gotta look him up when you get a chance. But
yeah.
very
Kurt
Kurt
Hazel. I gotta look him up.
Hazel.
Yeah, Kurt Hazel.
Yeah,
I gotta look him up. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. But this was beautiful, Mumba. This was so
Oh yeah, this
beautiful.
was lovely. This was amazing. This
You
was amazing.
know.
Yeah,
Thank you so much
great
for beautiful
conversations.
energy and sharing your podcast with me. And for all
Anytime.
the people that's there, I didn't get to see everybody. I gonna see how you wanna done.
Yeah. I appreciate everybody who tuned in, man. I appreciate everybody who was commenting, showing love, asking questions. I appreciate everybody. If you guys interested in coming on the podcast, hit me up. We could have a conversation anytime. Anytime. It's always love. It's all about us celebrating your life. It's all about us each one teach one, just showing everybody love. Creating good energy, creating good
Yes.
memories. So that's what it's all about. Before we leave, though, Chinell, is anything you want to say, anything you want to talk about that we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about, before we wrap up? Make sure.
Well, I want to leave this with each and every one of you guys. Love yourself. Out of millions of sperm, you're the one that was chosen to be here. You fought to be here in the womb. There's only one of you. Okay? Love on you. Be the best you. You're your greatest assignment. Okay? So, just continue to love on you. Don't listen to the noise because the noise is a distraction on your growth. Just understand that the noise will always be there. But show up for you. Be you, choose you, love you, and do you. I love you. Bad.
I love that. I love that. 101 episode featuring the amazing Chinell White. This was amazing. All the viewers and everybody who watching now and everybody who watching the playback, we have a YouTube channel, v.i.legends. So you guys can always check out the many other episodes that you can see is 101 episodes. Also on Facebook, the Elite Podcast as well. So you guys could catch up on many different episodes from many different individuals from the Virgin Islands. So this podcast is just for many and any individual from the Virgin Islands who willing to share their story, who want to come up and just have deep conversations as well too. Chinell, you're more than welcome anytime to come on. Anytime you want to say, hey, Mumbai, hey, I want to talk about something that was on my mind. I'd love to have a talk with you. We go live. You're more than welcome to hit me up anytime. So just I'll let you know. But
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So everybody have a good night. Everybody be safe. Much love to everybody. Peace.